Alright, what's up guys? Welcome on in here. Let me go ahead and jump right into game number 1. Go ahead and jump on in. Righty, we got a PvP here to start with. And in the upper left hand corner we have, representing NorthernLight, we have Fear. And in the bottom right hand corner representing, have earob. Oh, okay, I'll turn my mic up. Oh, I didn't realize I had that on the wrong thing. Aaron is getting mad because I'm using the wrong sheet. I'm really annoyed right now. Whatever. Let me start talking about this game. Okay. So PvP, I know very little about PvP other than I assume you're gonna get, it's gonna be mostly Zealot Dragoon, and they're probably gonna get into like Storm later, like Templars for Storm and Archons. Because I was watching some Day 9 stuff last night, and I know one thing he talked about with the Protoss units is that you do want to use Storm on Zealots, especially once they get legs. And so probably should keep an eye on that. But as far as the beginning of PvP, I am definitely going to be learning something along with the rest of you. But for the most part, it does look like our our builds are relatively mirrored. And we just got our first zealot out here. We got 2 gateways here for Fear. Probably going to come in here and try to get a little bit of harassment down. Here we do have just the 1 gate. Okay, so we got 2 gate here with no gas. And we have 1 gate here with gas and a cybernetics core. Apparently I gotta learn whatever system the CPL is using because things were not where Aaron expected them to be. It's frustrating, but whatever. Anyway, so we got here Zealot just holding the ramp. A little bit more Zealot production. Might want to walk across the map and get some pressure down. And the assimilator is gonna go up. Thanks for the follow, man. I super appreciate it. And we've got a couple Zealots coming out here, and first Dragoon on the way. I have to imagine that Dragoon range will be following shortly after. And here comes these Zealots just walking across the map as this probe. Not sure if it's just going for a secondary scout or maybe it wants to hide. Maybe hide some tech, but no, it looks like he just wants to get a secondary scout off and see maybe if there happens to be a nexus. We do have, oh, this zealot's gonna go ahead and get in here. Alrighty, we need to kind of micro this Dragoon back and maybe use the zealot. Not sure if he needs to bring a couple of probes up here to deal with this. Oh, no, it looks like he's got this just fine. Yeah, he can micro this Dragoon against the zealot forever, it'll be fine. Taking a little bit of hull damage here. Probably not the most ideal thing, but as long as he doesn't lose the Dragoon, don't lose it. Don't lose it. Okay, 1 more hit. Look at this micro. This has got to be the most annoying shit ever. All right, so 1 gate robo, range is on the way. We do have some goons coming down here. Range on the way, of course, for our other Protoss player going up to 3 gateways. And the support bay going down here for earob, so potentially looking to go into Shuttle Reaver play. And we're just going to go ahead and get a little defense up, looking out at the natural expansion. Like, we are going to want to put that Nexus down here in a bit. Thanks for the follow, man. I super appreciate it. Been loving doing these replays, and I'm looking forward to doing more in the near future. I believe this Coach-Pupil League is 10 weeks long. Yo, what up, Sticks? What up, Fearco? What up, guys? Yeah, dude, the kiting, but also, like, the fact that, like, the Zealot had, like, 1 hit left when it was right here, and so he turned it back up so that it would just stay there that much longer. Like, that would just tilt me off the face of the fucking earth. Yeah. So just more 3-gate pressure coming out here. So we do have 5 goons walking across the map. We have our first Reaver out here. So this should be able to hold. I'm not sure how this works. Like if 5 Reaver, or if there's like a breakpoint here where like maybe you can dive on the Reaver here if you really want to. Assume yeah, goon range is done for both players. We get an observer out here, and it looks like we're really just, I don't know if this is considered all in or not. It looks like, are we going to send this probe out here to get a Nexus behind this? Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what we're going to do. Oh yeah, so I know, for example, that like 4 Dragoons can 2-shot a tank, and I think they 1-shot a Marine. And I know that, like, so, like, for example, one of the most important numbers for Zerg to know is that 7 mutas one-shots a worker. I think it actually might be different for SCVs versus probes and drones. I think it's actually 8 for SCVs because they have 5 more health. But regardless, a soft contain here, although this is a lot of Dragoons here. If he wants to walk up, he's going to walk up. He's going to go ahead and try to dive on this Reaver. There's a lot more Dragoons here for Fear than there are for Rev. He's really going to have to rely on those Reaver shots coming through, but the Reaver is going to go down, and it looks like the shield battery just now finishing, and a second Reaver is going to come out here literally just in the nick of time. Like, this could not have been cut any closer. For our red Protoss player, earob here. Oh my god, this is absolutely bonkers. Just barely gonna hold this. Now let's take a look at the supplies here. We have 28 probes for earob, so it looks like he didn't lose any in that engagement. We've got 26 here for Fear. Obviously his Nexus is later, whereas this Nexus has been up for a while now. So I think if you're earob, like, I hope I'm saying that right, earob. I hope in this instance that you know, he feels like he's probably ahead. He's got this observer out here, and like, if you're Fear, what are you gonna do about this? Like, there's literally nothing. Like, he doesn't even have a forge. There's no forge. There's no observatory. We're going into Templar tech here, so he could storm it. Like, he probably knows it's there. It's got to be super frustrating. You just get to see absolutely everything that's going on. We see the gateways. I don't think he sees the Templar tech. Okay, he does not see the Templar tech, but he knows, like, he knows that earob has to be spending the gas on something, right? You have to be spending the gas on something. Like, he would have seen the second gas go down, and okay, now he's gonna fly up here and he's gonna say, what the heck are you doing? Where's your tech? What was your tech choice? And here it is. It's Templars. And this is basically more what I was talking about at the beginning, where, again, I don't know a whole lot about PvP, but my guess would be that the 2 main things you're going to see, so you're going to see Zealot and Dragoons, of course, and I'm sure you're going to see legs almost all the time. But then the choice of tech is most likely going to be here. We're going to see Shuttle. We got Shuttle Speed on the way. We're going to see Shuttle Reaver. And then here we're just going to see Storms. And so the Storms really want to try to land on the Zealots. You could also probably use them to try to catch and zone out the shuttle, or maybe storm the Reavers when they pop out to take their shots. We'll just have to see exactly where they decide to throw down their respective spells. Going up to 4 gates now here for earob. And just sending more observers across the map here. It looks like we did... We got the observer that was up here before. I don't know if he's... I wish I'd seen if he'd stormed it. He must have stormed it. Because he would have seen it, like, right up here, so... That would be my guess. Do we have, like... Yeah, I'm a little sad that I missed what happened to that observer, because, I mean, there's no cannons up yet. So, the only thing I can surmise is that it must have gotten stormed. We're going to go ahead and take a peek over here. Is he going to... Oh, he's going to drop a storm on these Reavers. He's just going to walk up, and... I'm not sure. I mean, he knew the shield battery was there. So... I'm a little confused as to why exactly you would do something like that. But, you know, took some energy out of the shield battery, I guess. Okay, here we go. This observer going back in here. Going to go ahead and see. Going up now to 6 gateways. We do have that robo up. Fear doesn't know about that yet, but I have to imagine this is basically going to be... I mean, we don't have a support bay. There's no observatory. There was the observatory. So now we'll start getting observers out here for Fear. And it looks like we have here, what do we have? Like 1 storm available? Okay, no, we got 3 storms available, soon to be 4. Probably by the time, if he wants to move out down here, he'll likely have a couple more storms saved up. And we do have, oh no! Oh no! Okay. This is a little unfortunate. He did get the photon cannons up just in time. But unfortunately, that DT drop did absolutely nothing. I thought that had the Reavers in it. I was so worried. But in that instance, I mean, if you're Fear, you got to be feeling pretty good about that. You absolutely just stuffed that attempt at a DT drop. And oh gosh, this observer is probably going to fly right into this photon cannon. Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen. Wait, I just thought... Oh, did it lose? Oh, it lost vision up there. Wow. I thought that observer was just going to die. But no, it does hold on to it. Sees the probe up here. He doesn't see this, but then this expansion actually hasn't gone down yet. Yeah, the high ground terrain. Just a little bit, just enough to make sure that that observer was able to get out of there with its life. Got some High Templars out here for earob. So I want to say they have about the same number of storms. Yeah. Here might have 1 extra storm. I think he's got 1 extra. He's got a pretty high energy High Templar here. And they're really just moving right around each other here. So earob wanting to attack this 3rd. And it looks like Fear wants to kind of come up here and attack the natural. So, are we going to see a bit of a base trade here? I mean, are one of these players going to turn around? Like, they don't know. Well, now earob knows. And now earob knows that he could just hard commit onto this 3rd base. And does he, you know, can he rally enough down? Does he have anything in production here to try to hold? And instead, actually, we're going to see Fear here. The supplies are almost exactly even. It's really going to come down to how well the Micro and the Storms come out. Here comes the Reavers. They're going to try to get some shots off on these Zealots and Dragoons. We're going to pick up the shuttle, and, oh, can we focus it down? No. We're going to get some Storms down here. I can't even tell which Storms are going from which player, but this is absolutely bonkers. But unfortunately, it looks like the Storm's going to clean up the shuttle, going to go ahead and clean up these Reavers, and Fear is going to take a pretty sizable advantage. Whatever was over here attacking for earob before he decided to turn around, unfortunately got cleaned up, and this Nexus is still here. We do have some units moving out that were made in the main, but I mean, these High Templar, they don't have a storm. They have no energy, and they're just rallying up. And unfortunately, just like that, earob is going to GG. And yeah, it looks like really it just came down to Fear's army was a little bit more together when he came around here. And then earob's observer was here, and so he couldn't quite decide if he wanted to attack the third or try to come up here and defend, and so his army just got super split up. So that's unfortunate. I mean, the beginning of the game looked pretty solid, and hopefully we can have a pretty solid game too. But that was a fun one. I'm learning a lot here, watching these high-level players. Welcome in, guys. Thanks for joining me. I super appreciate it. I'm going to try to get through as much as I can. I can't guarantee that I'm going to get through the whole group because I am waiting for a phone call, and once I get that phone call, I am going to have to leave. But I'm going to get through as much of this as I can. So again, thanks for... I super appreciate the follows. You guys are super nice. Let me just give some specific shoutouts here. Slardart XT, Fearco, and Gleobird. Thanks for the follows, man. Super appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys are fans of StarCraft, Grast, thanks for the follow, dude. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys are fans of StarCraft and Broodwar, you're in the right place. I am just now getting back into this game myself. Been watching a lot of Artosis casts. Been playing a lot of scrims, trying to get some ladder in there, and yeah, for me, I just want to make this the year of Broodwar for me as we cross over into that 25th anniversary. Broodwar forever, guys. Broodwar forever. All right. Let's get... Why are my alerts are so delayed? Let's go ahead and get into game number 2. Alrighty. This time, we're going to be on Tempest. And in the top right corner of the map, representing, thank you very much, you have earob. And in the bottom left-hand corner, representing NorthernLight, we do have Fear. And let me update the scoreboard as Fear has gone up 1-0. Again. Again, just gonna have to learn and see. I mean, we did have that 2-player map, so that makes it a little bit easier for Fear to choose to do some 2-gate pressure. And again, I feel like that 2-gate pressure didn't do too much in terms of damage. And it, you know, again, not knowing a whole lot about Protoss, it seemed to me like, you know, earob and Fear were doing fine on the macro. The previous map was a 2-player map. I'm talking about the previous game. And so it makes sense to put out that 2-gate, you know, 2-gate pressure while earob was trying to tech up. But here, yes, we do have a 4-player map. And so I have to imagine that we're going to see less pressure and more macro-oriented builds. But, I mean, that could just be the style that Fear likes to play. Obviously, 2-gate pressure openings can be just as powerful on 4-player maps, even when it's cross-spawn, as they can be on 2-player maps, where you know where your opponent is right off the bat. And here it actually looks like, yep, that's exactly, we are going to see... Is this literally 2-gate proxy? Is that what we're doing here? I'm not... Did we just... I wish I had been paying a little bit more attention to the very start of this match, because I don't know if we just... If it was just like a cross-spawn scout and then he turned back around and did this, but here we go. This is how earob is going to try to either even up the series or just make this one pretty quick here. Without scout. Alrighty then. Just immediate cross spawn, or to walk in immediately across the map. Oh! earob winning the probe battle up here. It is natural. And we do have this manor pylon here. Oh, you were streaming this live? Oh, that's cool. We do have a bit of a mana pylon here, and that is going to allow this Zealot to get in and start dealing some damage. Shield battery going up here for Fear. Oh, I see. And now we are just going to go ahead and start pummeling down those gateways with our Zealots and our probes. And how are we going to try to hold this as Fear? Do we have... We don't have... Okay, thanks, Fear. Cheers, man. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Alright, it looks like this gateway is going to go down. The shield battery is up. But unfortunately, that's not going to help out too much here. As we try to get some units out, maybe try to defend these probes. But really, the Zealots are basically just going to have complete reign of the space to do whatever they want as they take out this gateway that is trying desperately to push out a Zealot here. But really, it just looks like there's absolutely no recourse here. As we're just going to keep rallying Zealots in from this proxied gateway. And we do have the probes coming up, maybe trying to drill, trying to go for our surrounds. But, I mean, once this gateway goes down, what does Fear have left? I mean, sitting on 20 supply to 31, they do have an equal number of probes, but... I mean, that's just it. There are no more Zealots. There are no more Zealots for Fear. He's trying to get his pylons down. He's trying to micro some of these workers, but... There we go. That's it. GG's going to be called. And earob, with the proxy, is going to go ahead and even this up at 1-1. Alright. Note to self, pay a little bit more attention to where the worker's going. That's the first time I've seen a proxy in one of these games I've casted, so my apologies for missing that. Go ahead and go right into game number 3. And this time it is going to be on Neo Dark Origin. So moving right into match number 3. Again, in the top left here, we have earob representing Thank You Very Much. And down here we have Fear representing Need a Light. So, interesting choice here for earob to decide to proxy. Did not want to go into any sort of macro game, it would appear. Either that or just trying to keep Fear honest. I mean, you do, of course, want to mix in those cheeses every once in a while when you're playing a best of series. The Magical CPL Adventure. What's up, Slardar? Hey, Dada. What's up, guys? How you doing? Hope you're having a nice day so far. I'm having a wonderful day. I played some scrim matches earlier with a couple of tier 3 players. Had some fun. I also played some more of the campaign this morning. I finally beat the Terran campaign in original StarCraft. That last map is actually kind of hard. It turns out when ghosts have infinite energy, they're pretty fucking good. And very, very annoying to deal with. But yeah, I haven't played the campaign since StarCraft first came out, so it's been fun going through the campaign again. So we do have just a slightly earlier scout coming out of Fear. Wants to see what is happening in the base of earob, and earob, you know, their probes are just gonna pass right by each other. Got that gas, and that cybernetics core going down for earob, getting that tech up. And we have the 2-gate pressure coming out of Fear once again, so we'll wait and see. We'll get those Zealots walking across the map. I'm sure we'll be getting that range soon for earob. And, yeah. We'll just have to wait and see earob and Fear Beasts. Well, I mean, they're tier 0, so of course they are, right? You don't get into tier 0 if you're not really, 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 really good. One of these days, I'm gonna need to start setting up some scrims with, like, tier 1 or tier 0 players, and just have them, like, pressure with zealots until I learn how to hold that shit. It's always nice to kind of, if you have the opportunity to just play against players that are better than you. I mean, it can feel nice to play against players that are your equal skill, and then, you know, if you win half your games, then it feels good. But when you're playing people who are better than you, then that's what motivates you to get better. Especially if you're playing players who, like, hit their timings really well. So, like, here's this first zealot here. We do have a zealot holding the ramp, and the zealot's not going to have a whole lot to do. Just going to try to micro here. And here we do have the first Dragoon coming out. This probe is going to come up here with, and oh, it's going to try to sneak up and out, and look at this, the probe is going to hold the ramp. We're going to take out that first zealot and the probe. Perfect deflection here. We do have 2 more zealots coming up, but, like, there's no way that they're going to get anything done here. I mean, the goon can kite forever. We have goon range on the way. The zealot's going to hold the ramp. And yeah, all right. We have our second Dragoon out. I mean, this is going to do absolutely nothing. And we're just going to go ahead and poke back here. We do have a 3rd gate on the way. That Cybernetic core is done, so I'm sure range is going to start here pretty soon. And I mean, yeah. This zealot pressure did absolutely nothing. Really just basically forced earob to make sure that he was holding his ramp, make sure that he was paying attention, make sure there wasn't anything cheeky with the probe getting out here, trying to make some, maybe drill through and make some space for the zealot to come back up. But none of that happens. Excellent hold here from earob, and now we're just going to get into our standard macro. This probe going to go ahead and go on home, was kind of hanging out up here, maybe wanted to try to see the tech, but we haven't quite seen that yet. There's goon range, and it looks like we are going to go straight into Templars and legs, just as what happened in the previous game. So it looks like our 2 players do have their preferred styles. 2-gate Robo. Going to go ahead and likely get into some... Oh, I didn't know you could see their rally points. Oh, that's so cool. I did not. Today I learned you can see rally points when you click on things. But I have no idea where these are rallied to. But yeah. Nexus likely going down here in a moment for earob. And then just going to go ahead and get those Reavers for defense behind. Last game was pretty exciting with... not the last game. Last game was cheese. First game was pretty exciting. With earob trying to hold, I want to say there was something like 12 goons that walked up and some zealots to try to pressure the natural of earob, and was able to hold that with the Reaver. So here we go. First Reaver is going to pop out. We got that observatory. We're going to go ahead and get some observers out so that we can really see what is going on. Where is this probe going? Alright, going to put a pylon down and walk across the map, and earob's probe is going to do the same. Now, he's going to see that there's no Nexus just yet, so we did commit a little bit harder on the tech. Hey, what's up, Final Sky? How you doing, man? Welcome in. Alright, that scout was completely denied. We were holding the bridge here. For earob, so Fear has no idea if there's a Nexus or not. He has no idea. I think earob was able to get... Yeah, he got in and saw that there was no Nexus. He was not able to get up the ramp. But he knows that it's got to be some sort of, you know, there's one base pressure. We do have some Dark Templar walking across the map, but I mean, there's an observer here. And so... These Dark Templar, they're not going to do anything. I mean, this thing's it's going to die, right? It's going to walk up and die. Not quite. Okay. Nope. There we go. We got the Reaver shot off and the Scarab didn't glitch. So that's it. That and this DT is not going anywhere. I mean, maybe you could look for a probe that wants to make a base here. Like I guess you'll walk up and get this probe, maybe, or he's just gonna wait for a counterattack opportunity of some sort. But here we have this Nexus is up and mining, and Fear's gonna go ahead and try to make a Nexus behind the Zealot pressure. But again, what is this gonna? I don't think this is we're gonna get much done here, and with the probe counts being what they are, I mean, like this Nexus is literally has just started for Fear. We do have Storm on the way. Do we have legs? Not yet. Unless legs is, oh, I think legs is done. But I mean, look at this. I mean, there's almost a control group of goons here. There's 2 Reavers. Shuttle speed is almost done, and there we have a shuttle almost out. And so, I don't see what a control group of speedlots is gonna really do here. I mean, maybe like he is positioned to maybe deny any scouts up here, or maybe he wants to try to come through this way. I mean, we do have the spotter pylon here, so. I didn't know Fear was a parent. That's wonderful. Wonderful that that there are people who just have families and still make the time for StarCraft in 2023. You don't have to be the lonely gamer anymore. It is in fact possible to play video games and have a life at the same time. I wouldn't know anything about that, but Fear does. And now we see here the intent of holding these units back, as the Dark Templar is going to come up in here, and he's going to just get right past this observer and try to get some kills here. And while these units are coming up here, he gets 3 probes before he dies. And now these speedlots are going to come in for this counterattack here. Now this pylon is going to distract them for a little bit as they try to get on top of these probes. But back over here, we've got a couple of storms going down on these dragoons, but there's really not that much left here in the natural to defend. And my goodness, like, what is going to happen here? I think I have to guess that these Reavers are just going to hold. I mean, we've got the shuttle here, we've got the micro, we've got the ramp is being held, and this is just going to get cleaned up. It looks like earob was able to drill his probes back up here, so the probes aren't going down. The Nexus is done here, and I mean, this Nexus is going to die, and this Nexus, well, actually, unfortunately, it looks like they're both going to lose their Nexus. But yes, I would say Fear is absolutely behind here. I did not expect him to actually get this Nexus. That surprised me. But they did both lose their Nexus. But I mean, look, like, the major difference, though, is that earob can get down his ramp, and Fear can't. And so earob could just make a Nexus now and just go. Now, if you're earob, you might think about just going in and trying to kill Fear. I would like to see. Okay, good. He is putting a Nexus down. Okay, we can't lose. Okay, let's not lose our shuttle. Okay, oh, the storm's going down. Okay, storm does not quite kill the Reaver, and it looks like, I mean, at this point, I mean, you can see the supply count. The supply is nice for earob, not so nice for Fear. I mean, he could literally just shuttle all of this up here, and then what do you do? What do you do if you're Fear? There's really not much you can do, I don't think. We do even have a pylon sitting out here for potential double expand. And, I mean, alright, well, Fear is going to try to break this and get down the ramp. We're going to see the micro here attempt out of... Oh my goodness, look at the Reaver shuttle micro coming out of earob. I mean, he could try to go kill Fear, but why? Why try to kill Fear when you could literally just, like, he could just double expand if he wanted to. He could just make a Nexus down here. And there's nothing Fear can do about it. Fear right now doing his best to macro up. Are we getting any upgrades? Do we have a Forge? Yeah, Forge. And it looks like we did bring that Reaver that we had from home up here. And I mean, again, look at this. Look at the vision. I mean, we've got an observer up here that's just chilling, and so Fear can see. I mean, everything that earob tries to do, Fear sees before it happens. And we've got these two perfectly placed. We are going to get this one Reaver down with the Storm. We're going to get a lot of damage on these Dragoons. We're going to go ahead and try to pick this up. And oh no, he loses the shuttle to the Storm because the shield, there was already some hull damage on that shuttle. And the shuttles, they accelerate so slowly. So unfortunately does lose the shuttle and both Reavers. But again, I mean, Fear at this time right now just cannot get down this ramp. I mean, he is going to try again, but as soon as he comes down the ramp, he's already taking some damage. Let's see, can we get the focus fire? We do have three. We're getting a little bit of focus fire here on these Dragoons as they come down the ramp, and we've got about, okay, now we've got a slightly higher Dragoon count here for Fear, and it looks like earob is just going to try to get as much damage down as he can. He's going to try to micro this as much as he can. He's got some more Dragoons rallying down here. All the storms on this High Templar are spent, and we've got the goons with legs here. Or sorry, the zealots with legs here trying to chase down these goons. He does manage to snipe the High Templar, and now Fear is finally has broken down his ramp. But in the time it took to do that, I mean, we've got Fear mining off of two bases. It'd be nice if he was mining from this gas, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. He's still got one Reaver back at home. He's going to micro that as best he can with the shuttle. And look at how perfectly he's doing this. Wait for the goons to try to dive on the Reaver and then pick them up before the shots connect. If you actually pick up the Reaver before the shots connect, then it just doesn't take any damage. It's crazy that watching players who are able to do this just blows my mind. The Observer was taken out with that Storm, unfortunately, and a little bit of damage on these units. But now, I mean, we're just going to do the same thing all over again. Fear doesn't have enough money to go ahead and put down that Nexus. Yeah, no, they've been sitting on the same probe count for quite a while now, both players. And so, I mean, again, Fear is going to have a really, really hard time getting down his ramp. earob looking for, you know, any other kind of sneak nexuses somewhere else, but really, there's really not much to be done here. Now, this is a bit of a mistake. You definitely don't want to be attacking up on the high ground if you don't have to. Just hold the... Excuse me. Just hold the ramp as best you can. And I mean, it's literally one base versus two base. And look at this. There's like a couple minutes of gas left, and like this is gonna mine out in like 2 minutes. And because of this nat being taken out earlier, this natural is completely healthy, and we're putting down a third nexus. So I mean, long distance mining from this mineral field here. Yeah, earob's gonna go ahead and put a stop to that. He even drops a zealot down here to attack this pylon. I love it. And Fear's going to go ahead and send a whole bunch of units down here just to go ahead and deal with this one zealot. I've never zoomed in on a Dragoon before. These look so cool. Yeah, Fear wants to open the back door. And maybe try to get a nexus over here. But like, now if you're earob, you know that he wants to do that. Oh, don't lose the shuttle to these goons. There's quite a few units over here. Okay, he is going to try to get a little bit of damage down onto this ramp. Oh no, he just barely missed up picking up the Reaver. Oh, he tried to go back in to pick it up, and unfortunately we just missed it. And is going to go ahead and lose that. Does he have another one? He does have another Reaver. Good. Yeah, Fear is out of minerals, and he has no money for a Nexus. Literally the only thing that he can do is try to long distance mine from here, but this observer is going to see that. And I mean, look at this. This isn't heavily saturated, but it's saturated. So I mean, okay, we're getting storms down. We've got zealots with legs down here. And it looks like Fear is actually going to clean this up. Maybe? I actually can't. No. I think earob's just going to kill everything, actually. That was his last... Oh, okay. Okay. I think he would have barely held that. Maybe. But it wouldn't have mattered. Rob never got zealot legs. That's kind of funny. But yeah, Rob gonna go ahead and take it with a very well played set of PvP games. I do like I like the cheese. I like the cheese in game 2. You got to mix it in every now and then. Keep your opponents honest. If you play too many macro games and you never do anything non-standard, then people are just gonna feel too safe against you. Alright, so now that we're done with our first series, I just want to make sure that everyone's here knows just one important thing. I'm going to try to get through as many games as I can today of this set. There are 4 more sets in this replay pack. However, I'm waiting on a phone call, and as soon as I get that phone call, I have to leave. So whenever that phone call comes in, I just got to shut it down, and then we'll pick up where we left off tomorrow. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into our next match. Looks like we're going to have Lanaishot versus Yenta. Lanaishot versus... It'd be a TVZ. And we're going to start on Invader, of course. Lana is hot. Thank you. I could not for the life of me disambiguate those words. Lana is hot. Okay. Lana is hot. Versus Yenta. Game 1. Let's go. Oh, I don't have the correct... Now that looks good. Alrighty. Starting off on Invader once again. We do have up here our turn player representing Thank You Very Much. Lana is hot. And down here in the bottom right-hand corner, we have our Zerg player representing NorthernLight. We do have Yenta. We'll have to see what our players decide to do. I've been playing a lot of the tier 3 turn players I play against prefer to do mech because it's easier to manage than bio. And so mech can be a little bit... I've had a lot of practice against dealing with mech, which can be kind of annoying. It can be hard to engage, and you know, learning to just macro, just try to take the entire map while Terran tries to hold their position. But I have to imagine here in Tier 0, we're going to see, you know, a more SK Terran focused style, which is more standard amongst high-level pros. So I'm super looking forward to learning from this TVZ. And we do have Overpool here from Marine Tank Vessel, then Mech. Gotcha. Looks like we have Overpool here. From Yenta. Go ahead and get that drone count up. And then we'll likely want to send one out for a scout soon and to go ahead and get down that natural hatchery. First SCV coming out here for Lana's Hut. Yenta has the builds. The Bag of Builds Discord. I'm not in that Discord. Can you send me an invite? I don't know that Discord. there goes that hatchery. And so now, I'm curious, are we going to see the third hatch in the main, or are we going to see it at the third? We are going to get some lings out here to go ahead and try to chase away this SCV. Is he going to hold the ramp and then just kill it? Or is he... Oh, he's just going across the map with these. Interesting. Where is his drone? Oh, the drone's already on the way back. The Overlord is on the way up. Go ahead and get into that safe spot there. And the SCV... Okay. Third hatch in main. I'm almost surprised he's not getting his gas now. I think this is normally when you'd want to get your gas. This SCV just trying to be a snowing spot. Okay, hold on. Sorry. I missed these speedlings taking the ramp. Oh my goodness. What is... So, it looks like they were able to take out at least 2 Marines. So we've only got... we've got this one. I assume there's at least one in the bunker. But yeah, Yenta, I mean, taking his first batch of lings and nearly getting into the main. Was maybe looking for the SCV or maybe considering landing over here? I'm not sure exactly. Oh! The SCV is still here, and I don't think Yenta realizes that. So now we are going to go ahead and start picking up that gas for Yenta. Ling speed is not started yet, so we're going to go Ling speed first or lair first? Lair first, okay. So my understanding was that the build that I usually use that I've seen out of Jaedong gets first gas after the third hatchery. And then you get your lair, and then you get your ling speed, and then you get your second gas. That's the build that I follow. Right, so I guess I was just surprised that the third, like, literally put the third hatchery down, and then take the gas, so... I'm not saying it was, like late. I just... My brain is, like, so zeroed in on hatch, gas, like, immediately. Gotcha. Yeah, okay. Yeah, totally. And yeah, sometimes you do want to sneak out a couple more drones. So that makes a lot of sense. And this scout is going to get denied, which means Lana hasn't seen the lair timing. He should have seen this Hydralisk end, so he knows it's fast lurker. And in fact, is this going to be a lurker bust? This is what I saw a couple of games like this the other day. Oh, gets the Overlord. Oh, that feels real bad. We did go out 2 hatch, but later 3rd hatch in main. So we actually went out hunting for Overlords and was just able to pick this one off up here. So that feels real bad. Fortunately, we did have another one on the way already, but again, you really don't want to have to do that as much as you can avoid it. So we're getting our first Hydralisk out, and we do have these Sunkens. Yes, of course. We did force the Sunkens because of moving these out, and you don't know if they're moving quite across the map or not, because again, you do see... All you really see is these Marines moving out with this Overlord here. What? What? What is this? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Oh, the missile turret here actually sees this Overlord, so he's able to chase that away. As soon, like... I feel so bad. He never killed this SCV. He just assumed he killed it or it left. And so, yeah, I mean, as soon as Yenta walks up to try to bust this, do we have Stim? Stim is on the way. Stim and +1 both on the way. We got plenty of medics, a ton of bio out here, staying super safe. And it does seem like Lana knows what's coming. Getting tons of extra bunkers here. And yeah, with these bunkers and missile turrets, I don't really... He's got his comm stats up. And he'll have enough... Like, by the time he walks up here, he'll have enough energy for 2 scans. So, yeah. This is going to do... Not only is this going to do nothing, but, yeah. Look at this. Like... These guys are just champing at the bit right now. They're so ready to go. Oops. Oh yeah, dude. If you have him just holding the ramp and then you try to drill up the ramp, well, here we go. I mean, Yenta is gonna go for it. There are a lot of lurkers. Oh, the fire bats are going. Oh my goodness. Immediately down to 15 drones, and now we know this is absolutely 100% all in. Is there going to be enough here to break this? Did Lana prepare sufficiently enough? One scan goes down. He's got one more scan left, but I'm not sure that there is enough bio to actually deal with all these lurkers. Look at this. Oh my goodness, there's a whole control group of lurkers here just obliterating everything, and it actually does not matter. It really just doesn't matter how much bio he had up here. There were no tanks. There were no tanks. And now there's absolutely nothing to hold this. What happened to the fire bats? Okay, yeah. And that's it. Lana just taps out. Lana thought that he was ready, but he was not ready for... There were 12 lurkers. Hold on. I just want to back up. I just want to rewatch the moment that the fire bats engaged. When did this happen? Okay, the fire bats are popping out. I need to see this moment. Because there's like, what? There's like 12? There's probably like 15 lings here. Somebody needs to clip this. Somebody needs to clip this. This is amazing. Because we got these fire bats here, and they're just about to run in. And it's almost like... It's almost like watching... It's almost like watching StarCraft 2 again with the Hellions. Line them up! Line them up! Line them up, boys! This so reminds me of Hellion drops in Wings of Liberty in StarCraft 2. Like, oh my goodness. Absolutely just shredded. Just shredding the mineral line. Alrighty. Well, that was exciting. Yo, Shimmer, what up, dude? Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. Alright, so Yenta goes up 1-0 with a very well executed lurker bust. And let's go ahead and get into game number 2 on Tempest. Alright, guys. Game number 2. We are on Tempest. In the top right, our Zerg player, who, despite losing almost all of his drones, was able to bust the net with his lurkers. It is Yenta. In the bottom left, hoping to get a bit of a better macro game this time around and not just get all ins. It is Lana is hot. And Lana's fire bats definitely were hot. That is definitely true for what happened in the last match. That was pretty amazing. You love to see it. Even if you lose, you definitely won on style points with that hidden SCV. Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what Lana really needed aside from like a tank or two, and I'm not sure if that's Lana's fault or not. I honestly thought with all the bunkers and the scans and the missile turrets that he was fine. And clearly Lana also thought that he was fine. And then it turns out he wasn't. So I have to imagine like one or two tanks you just hold that cleanly. Oh. Yeah, Dada, that makes sense. Yeah. Sort of like how you play against siege tanks where you force the tanks to siege and unsiege and you slow them down. You can just click the bunker and press T, right? I mean, I haven't played Terran and regular StarCraft in a gajillion years, so I've never actually tried that, but I assume that works. I also I was talking about playing the I see. I wasn't sure if it were how that worked. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Lana should see this Overlord, right? Will Lana see this Overlord? Okay, so Lana sees this Overlord and should immediately know that Yenta's up here, right? And I would guess that Yenta would know that Lana's here by seeing that SCV with that Overlord. So they're both gonna get their scouts off eventually. Hello there. Are you planning on making something? I mean, we have a scout SCV here, and we have a barracks up. We're gonna go ahead and deny that scout. We do have a command center going down. Is this gonna be maybe what is this? Well, whatever it is, this drone is gonna see this SCV. And Lana's SCV is gonna go home, question mark? Got some lings coming out here. Speed and lair on the way. Oh, it looks like that SCV was denied. Did these have a kill? No? I heard it fighting. Oh, it hit the SCV but didn't quite kill it. Okay. It's almost dead. I thought maybe something was going to go down here with that SCV just kind of sitting here. Okay, we're sending another SCV out. Was Lana planning on hiding something? Or maybe we're just going for the rescout now. And yes, I love this Yenta bringing the lings around. And he's just going to go ahead and pick this off immediately. And now we're just going to go ahead and probably reposition these lings here to keep an eye out for anything moving out. Ling speed is done. And we're going to go ahead and get that Spire down. Really fast Spire here. Oh, the speedlings are just going to run right in to the natural. And all the Marines are dead. Oh no. Man. That is so brutal. 2 hatch speed timing. So he wasn't expecting speed, I see. So this was a bit of a tricky build. And there wasn't even a 3rd hatch. Is that like all in or is that just pressure? I don't actually know. Well, regardless. Yenta takes a 2-0. So there we go. Gonna go get right into our next set. Here we have NorthernLight versus SemiH. PVZ. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and get into this third set of the day. Alrighty. Here we are back on Invader for our third set in the top left corner. Representing NorthernLight, we do have SemiH. And in the bottom right-hand corner, representing Thank You Very Much, we have NorthernLight. SemiH is the winner of Tier 0 KOTT. Oh shit, hell yeah, dude. I appreciate knowing about some of these newer players, but I think I'm going to be casting... Dado is telling me that there's a lot of King of the Tiers in, I think, like Tier 2 and Tier 3 that haven't gotten cast. So as we start catching up with CPL, I'll probably go back and cast those. Keep it, like... Let's just keep it light on the spoilers for my sake. When we get around to casting King of the Tiers, I think I heard that most of Tier 0 and Tier 1 got cast, so I do want to eventually get into doing Tier 2 and Tier 3 King of the Tiers later. So yeah, if Tier 0 and Tier 1 are done, that's fine. And I do like knowing the history of these players, right? Like that's super impressive, right? Like SemiH is proven himself to be the best of the best, and that's always good information to know. Does anyone know what do you know what SemiH's MMR is by chance? I'm kind of curious where the best CPL players rate amongst like other known players. Do get pressure here coming out from our Protoss player and our Zerg player. Getting that pool down. Gonna go ahead and try to chase out this probe. The best CPL players are low A, high B. 2K MMR. I thought 2K was like S tier. Once you get past low mid A, usually players tune out from CPL. Wait, do people really just like... I thought the whole point was people who were good helping people who were bad get good. Do people really just like leave the CPL when they get too good? Feels like pulling the ladder up behind you. But regardless, this probe is going to go ahead and get chased out. I see. 2200? Okay. So let's gonna go ahead and move across the map here. The band moves a little. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I have to imagine that S is like relative to everybody else, whereas like the other ones. All right, so we are gonna have. Where's Ling's? We haven't even... Oh, right. Oh, we haven't even started mining gas yet. Okay, so we are really focused on dealing with the cellar pressure. This probe is trying to drill, and we're trying to group all of our zealots together. We got 5 zealots out on the map here, and we're still making more. This overlord does see this. We are getting our core down. And here comes the... So the Nat is almost up here for SemiH. Sorry, for NorthernLight. And we are getting that, we're mining that gas. Gonna go ahead and get that creep colony down. Gonna go ahead and get at least 1 sunken. Top 1%. I see. Oh yeah, because like Grandmaster was always like the top 1% or whatever. It wasn't necessarily MMR. It was just like you relative to other players. So we do have that lair, and now I have to imagine we're going to be picking up that speed. You have the gas for it. Oh, Lings are going to go ahead and run across the map as these zealots have gone home. Only got to maybe 3rd hatch. Some builds get 5 hatch before gas. That's a lot of hatcheries. And we do have this sunken colony sitting out here, but now... Two cybernetic scores. Okay, everybody makes mistakes. And now, I mean, obviously we're not going to bust up here. But, so I guess we're just going to have like this light contain while we get our nat up. We do need to get that drone count up, ideally. Oh, he's going to walk down the ramp to try to take that. And just as he does that, these Lings are going to jump on these zealots. And the Lings are trying to get the best service area that they can. But really, the zealots are trading amazingly well. I think he lost like maybe three zealots. He lost 3 zealots for all of those Lings. Well, alrighty then. I'm a little bit surprised that NorthernLight decided to engage there. What do we have here? We have a spire coming up, but there's only 2 hatcheries. We've got a shuttle out here for NorthernLight, or for Semi. Now we got a robo. Do we have like a... Oh, we got a Reaver on the way. Yeah, I mean... yeah. Once the Spire pops, he starts making mutas. And he could even make like one set of Scourge. And just completely own this. Like... He needs like one more. I don't know. He's got these Lings and he's got these Sunkens. I don't think you can actually easily. Yeah, no. The mutas are gonna. Yeah, right as this hits, the mutas are gonna be done, and he's gonna be completely fine. And it's really gonna come down to whether or not if he can snipe this, then I think Semi's just dead. And I don't think Semi's trying to like expand behind this or anything either. I think he's just committed to one base. Oh, Semi sees the mutas and knows that it was over. Oh, man. He wanted to try to get there before the mutas hit, but he couldn't quite do it. And yeah, no cannons. Yeah. No cannons. So you know. I mean, you just kill these goons, and then you fly them over here, and then you just eat every single probe. So, I guess he was hoping for Hydra tech, but he didn't actually see whether it was Hydra or not. And it wasn't. So, I guess in a situation like this, I guess you're basically flipping a coin, right? And you're saying, well, this is the tech that seems to, be the best in the situation, and I'm either going to go kill him and all of his Hydras, or I'm going to die to mutas, and he died to mutas, so. So, NorthernLight going up 1-0. Yes, right. Yes, mutas exist. Which is also why the original StarCraft is so bullshit. Because I don't think any race has any way of really dealing with mutas well in the original StarCraft. So, alrighty, let's move on to Game 2 on Tempest. Close spawns this time. Righty, bottom right-hand corner of Tempest, we do have our Zerg player, NorthernLight. Bottom left-hand corner, we have Protoss player. First thing Needle-Lighted is Semi. I think I said he's on Needle-Light. He's on Thank You Very Much. Anyway. So yeah. From a past 2000 POV, OG StarCraft is probably BS. Yeah, no. Artos has said it multiple times. You can't stop mutas. You cannot stop mutas. And especially, like, stim is completely useless because you don't have medics. Like, that's one thing that's been really annoying about playing the original StarCraft campaign is stim is useless. So, it is what it is. Just to brag with our super fast shuttles. I gotta admit, man, shuttle speed is pretty fast. Speed overlords are pretty fast too. But shuttle speed is next level fucking insane. So we do know that this overlord is going to get over here and is going to spot this pylon here pretty soon. We do have the scout coming out here. It's been an instinct when they research range but not stim. I would get range and not stim all the time in the OG. Like every turn mission I got stim, or I got range but not stim, because stim is useless. Stim is useless until you get medics. So I want to see where he's going to put this overlord. For it to expand this time out of semi, so no zealot pressure. And probably just going to go ahead and get this nexus down. There it is. I'm kind of curious how people know that you can put all of this here without blocking your nexus. I know some maps. Oh, it's the little. Okay, it's these things. I see. I know, like, some maps have like little markers. I didn't recognize this. That makes more sense. Oh yeah, now I see it. It's more obvious on some maps than others, I've noticed. But yeah, we do have our pool and our gas down. And it looks like we are going to take our third hatchery up here. Just going to go ahead and take our third base. Or where are we going? Okay, he's going to run into the probe. He might have wanted to take this base. But the probe's going to see that. And they're going to start fighting. Who wins this? Oh, they're going to micro it out. But, I mean, the probe is already... Oh, okay. He went ahead and just put the hatch down. Okay. I thought they were going to keep fighting, but they didn't. But now Protoss knows that this base is here. And we're just going to have to see what tech they choose. Cybercore going down. Nexus almost done. And this probe probably would like to get up and see what's going on in the main base, where we do have our lair started. Are we skipping speed? My speed hasn't started yet. First Zealot moving across the map here. Gonna go ahead and put some pressure down on the natural, but I mean, we've got Lings. We're ready for this. Oh no. Wait, what? Oh my goodness. What does he keep blocking? Oh my goodness, he actually blocked the Spire twice. I saw this drone try to make the Spire twice, and it got blocked both times. That's so annoying. We do have the third hatch up here. Yo, Kro64. Thanks for the follow, dude. Kro, I don't know if you've played StarCraft before. I think you normally are, I think you're normally more active in, Space Junk's stream. So if you're not super familiar with StarCraft, feel free to ask questions. Because StarCraft is an incredibly confusing and complex game. Anyway. These are just going to go ahead and chase off these Zealots. This Zealot might want to walk up and try to poke at the third. I mean, there's really nothing up here right now. Gateway and Citadel. It looks like we're going to go into legs and maybe Templar pay. Are we just going to skip? I like having this here, but I mean, it's the most obvious target for Corsairs, right? But we're skipping Stargate here, so that's interesting. Which, I mean, we're skipping Stargate and Birdling is going Spire, so, like... And we're getting the den and the hatchery here to get our wall to protect us. And the Zealot is going to be super annoying. But I don't think that Zealot actually did anything. Like, maybe it killed a few lings. Hey, Cairo. Enjoy your lurk. I'm not playing, I'm just casting, but I might stream some StarCraft later. Oh, excuse me. God, I keep yawning. So we did have a little bit of Zealot pressure coming in here. And in fact, we have the leg speed just finished. My goodness, look how fast the Zealots go. So the Zealots are going to come up here, but we already have mutas that are hatched. So I mean, yes, we could get these onto the drones. Let's see if he can, how many drone kills he can get. Look at this drill! Oh my goodness! Has yet to lose a single drone. And these mutas are going to chase this back. I don't think he lost a single drone. These Zealots are attacking Zerglings. And these Zealots are also attacking Zerglings. We do have more speed lots running across the map, but right now, I mean, seriously, 28 drones. Okay, he loses one. He lost one drone in all of this. Now, more speed lots coming up here. There is nothing to help out right now. So this is where we can get a little bit more damage in. One goes down. A couple of these should be hurt. It looks like he did kill some of these drones that had, like, just been made and hadn't been, like, started mining yet. We did get a couple of kills there. Oh, and now speed lots running into the main. Let's see if they can get any damage down here. What is happening over at the main base? We got plenty of photon cannons. No third nexus. And it looks like everything up here has been pushed back. And so, for the most part, this game, NorthernLight was sitting on 28 drones. Oh, going after the Spire. But, I mean, he's not going to get this, is he? Okay. So, at the end of it all, there was some lost mining time from this base as we had to move our drones up here. Some lost mining time from this base as we move the drones down here. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're net positive on drones. Like, he had 28 when these speed lots started coming up here, and now he's up to 34. So super healthy drone count here. Going up into 5 hatcheries now. The Hydra Den is done. And I have to imagine we've got speed. Range is on the way. Okay, speed is done. And I mean, what do we got? Okay, we got a ton of Corsairs out here. So the late Stargate, but oh, two gate Corsair. Wow, okay. So we're making a ton of Corsairs now because he knows that there are mutas out. So he's got enough Corsairs that he can, like, hunt down the mutas as well as the Overlords. And I'm very interested to see what exactly you do here as NorthernLight in this situation. He's actually going to go ahead and jump on these Corsairs that just popped, but unfortunately the other Corsairs have matched up, so now he's going to try to split his mutas up. And it looks like he is going to save 4 of them. But these other ones were very badly hurt, and even these ones... Oh god. Excuse me. These mutas are not the healthiest. So... I'm very interested to see what... Like, no Overlord speed here, so these Overlords are all just going to get absolutely wrecked. Once these Overlords die, NorthernLight's going to be supply blocked, and then this is where... I mean, this is where I just get super tilted when I'm playing ZVP. Is you're having to spend so much money. I mean, look at this. He just spent like 1,000 minerals on Overlords. I'm pretty sure. He's just got like 10 in production right now. That said, Oh no, and he's gonna get right on top of these right as they hatch? Oh gosh, please get these over here. Okay, we are gonna have these Hydralisks up here at the front. Supply blocked again, as again these Corsairs got right on top of the eggs right as they were hatching. And now we've got these Hydralisks just kind of sitting out here. It looks like the Corsairs were chased off. But again, now we finally have a little bit of supply freed up, but not much. And we're only just now starting Lurker aspect. Okay, now we've got a Spore up, and we've got these Hydralisks here that can actually finally help to damage these Corsairs. But I mean, again, supply blocked. This is so annoying to have to deal with. And my guess is that ideally NorthernLight would like to wait until Lurkers are out, but we've got Zealots and we've got High Templar here with Storms, and they're going to chase these Hydras away, and I'm really not sure that there's anything that NorthernLight can do in this situation. I honestly think he might just be dead. Well, not dead, but like definitely behind. Do we have a Hive yet? No Queen's Nest, no Hive. We still don't have Lurker aspect, still isn't quite done. And Protoss is going to go ahead and take a third. And there's really not much that Zerg... I mean, okay, we do have this army moving up here. I don't see any observers out on the map. And so, okay, we are going to send a very small group of Hydras across the map here. This group of Hydras just got stormed. I imagine he's got at least one... He's got one storm. Let's see how good it lands. Oh my goodness, that storm was fantastic. And so now, I mean, this... You just can't fight. You can't fight Protoss here. You have to back all the way up to your natural. And he is getting another wave of Hydralisks, and he does have enough supply out that finally he can start making Lurkers. But will they be in time? I mean, look, the Protoss army is here. And he's going to have several storms up. So, I mean, we could try to back up to our Sim City here and maybe get some Hydras back here. Do we have any Hydras making? I don't see any. And the supply is just completely plummeting here for our Zerg player. We've got units making up out of here, but even when they come down here, there's really not much that can happen. And it looks like the Lurkers morphed just in time. I couldn't tell. I was trying to click on these eggs to figure out which were Lurkers and which were Hydras. And it does look like we got the Hydras out just in time. We do have an observer with this army. And so Zerg is going to try to push and hold things back, but I'm not exactly sure what it is that NorthernLight can do in this position. I mean, 65. I mean, he has so little army at this point. We do have some Scourge out here to try to maybe catch this observer, but this observer is long gone, or maybe he wants to look for a shuttle or some Corsairs. But again, I mean, this army just there's too little. There's too little here for NorthernLight to try to fight with. And I mean, we're desperately trying to make as much as we can to try to hold on, but I mean, Protoss could just take, you know, just go up here and just take all these bases. There's nothing Zerg can do about it. Like, you have so much supply. Look at this, 70 army supply here versus like 20, maybe 30, call it 30 for Zerg. There's just no way. I mean, we are gonna see here. I mean, there's gonna be a valiant attempt. We have +1 range here for our Zerg player, 1/1 here for our Protoss player. But again, look at this. He's gonna consider dropping a storm. Like, if he drops a storm like right here. Okay, the storm wasn't the best, but again, it doesn't matter. Like, you just can't. You're just never gonna get enough units out of Zerg to try to hold this. And we do have a probe here going out and dropping a 4th Nexus. And again, there's just absolutely nothing that Zerg can do. And so now we are getting back into some muta production here. A decent amount of mutas here, as well as lurkers. So muta, hydra, lurker. Do we have a hive yet? I really want to know if we have a hive. We do not have a hive. So, I mean, this is how we're going to try to make our stand here. I'm curious if maybe you, NorthernLight wouldn't want to try to run these over to maybe try to pick off, like, you could try to exploit terrain here and pick off these probes, but I mean, these storms, you got the observers out, they're going to see all the lurkers. These mutas are just going to get obliterated almost immediately by the dragoons, and even storming right on top of his own army. I mean, all of these are going to die. We're just going to watch this supply plummet again. And NorthernLight really just doing the best that he can to hold on, but it's just going to be too little too late. Pearl is 3 gas, it's Infinity Storm. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, look at this. Just Zerg death. The storms were great. I mean, they're just sitting there. We got speed lots running all over the space. You know, we're going to get the Hydraless Den. We're going to get all the Hydras. Yeah, the Den's gone. The Nat's gone. And I mean, even if you clean this up, it doesn't matter, right? Yeah. Alright. GG is called. And that's going to do it. We are going to go ahead and have Semi even the series up. 1-1. Yeah, let's go ahead and get to our next game. It's so tough, man. It's so tough dealing with Corsairs as Zerg. It feels like you either kill all the Corsairs and then just win, or you lose all your Overlords and you just lose. It's brutal. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into game 3. Alrighty, game number 3. So we are on Neo Dark Origin once again in the top left corner, representing Team NorthernLight. We do have Semi in the bottom right hand corner, representing. Thank you very much. NorthernLight. And so we've seen some tricky plays here out of NorthernLight so far. We saw 2 hatch muta into lurkers. And we've seen a lot of Zealot pressure out of Semi. And so now that we're back on a 2-player map, it'll be interesting to see if there are specific strategies either of our players would prefer to use when they know exactly where their opponent is. So we're going to go ahead and get our pool down. Looks like overpool was the choice here. And it's just a matter of when we're going to get our natural. And is this going to be a forge or a gate? It is going to be a forge. So no Zealot pressure. Not immediately anyway. Out of our Protoss player. Now we're going to play this game of chicken here, where this probe is going to try to block the Nat, and are we just going to go straight to the third, or are we going to try to play a little bit of mind games here? Look at this micro, look at this. Get him. And it looks like he's just going to send another drone out, and just take the net, take the hatchery at the net. And that is how you do it. And now that that's done, sure, we're going to get some link, right? We want to chase this probe out. We're really going to come up here. We do have one cannon going down. No gateway just yet. And just a bunch of drones here. No lings just yet. Not worried about this probe at all is our Zerg player. So here comes the gateway and the nexus from our Protoss player. Here is the third hatchery down on location. So a slightly different build from what we've seen before. No hatchery in the main. So we will just have to wait and see what that tech choice is. Still no Zerglings out either. So I wonder if we're gonna... Are we just gonna start speed, or are we gonna start our lair just right in the face of this probe here? Oh, here come the lings. Why can't I move my map? What the hell? That was weird. I got locked in place. And the probe. Gonna go ahead and pop out real quick and pop right back in. Now, wait a second. Okay, wait. Hold on. Where's the lair? We got the Hydralisk Den down. Is this gonna be just a Hydra bust? Are we skipping lair? Are we going all in? I mean, we are blocking the ramp. So... Protoss is going to have no idea that there's no lair. Yeah, we're getting no ling speed, no lair. We're getting Hydra speed right now. So it looks like we're looking at a Hydra bust. That's my guess. I'm not sure, but it looks to my mind, that's what we're looking at. We do have Goon range on the way. First Goon being made. And we have some drones coming out, and just a little bit of Zealot pressure. He is going to stay back here and try to deny some of these patches and just be super, super annoying. But, I mean, we have Hydras in production, and Protoss has not seen them yet. Oh, he's going to see this Hydra. Okay. That's huge. I was hoping that maybe NorthernLight wasn't going to make a Hydra out of this hatchery. Because if he doesn't, then he doesn't see the Hydras. But now he knows. Now he knows. And now all he needs to do is just make a bunch of cannons. There we go. There we go. He saw the Hydras. He's going to start throwing cannons down. I mean, get like 3 more cannons. I'm serious. Just more cannons, more cannons, more cannons. This +1 has been started. We'll see whether or not... Let's see. His range should be on the way, right? Yep, range is on the way. Lair is on the way. Oh, yeah, no kidding. And so now we got this pressure going on here. Range is not quite done, and these cannons aren't done either. He's going to try to get this cannon that's... Nope, he's going to go ahead and try to get the one that just morphed in. Now he's going to try to get the one that... Oh, he's going to try to get the Naya and this other one, and now... I mean... Oh, this is really unfortunate. I'm not sure exactly what NorthernLight's idea was here. He did deny a couple of cannons, and it would have been nice if he could have put a little more pressure down and maybe denied this +1, but the goons were ready. And everything was ready, and I am a little worried that NorthernLight might just be dead. I mean, I think these goons might just walk across the map and kill him. Okay, maybe not just yet. Okay, what do we have going on here in this base? We're up to 5 gates. No other tech yet. +1 almost done. And it looks like we're just going to start rallying units down to the center of the map. We do have a 4th hatchery going up, and an Evo chamber. So no tech switches here just yet. Okay, these units are just going to run right into each other. This is just going to get cleaned up. This is going to get completely cleaned up. And I'm genuinely worried. I'm genuinely worried for NorthernLight here. I mean, I just don't see. I just don't see how. Well, okay, it looks like actually we're just barely gonna hold on here. Goons are strong, but it looks like these were up just in time. We are rallying down more units. That +1 should be done. And I mean, wow. We're trying to focus fire here on the goons with the Hydras. And the Goons are trying to do the same thing, and it looks like our Zerg player is just going to hold on, just barely. +1 range has been started here, and this is where it gets a little bit tough. Don't cross the... Please don't cross this bridge. Please don't cross this bridge. Okay, thank you. Jesus Christ. I really don't want to see NorthernLight overextend here. He's in a okay spot. He's not dead. He is droning up. So that's good to see. Stargate on the way here for our Protoss player. And what is this? Spire on the way for the Zerg player. And these Hydras are kind of poking in and out here, trying to see what they can see, but I think he maybe was looking for a 3rd Nexus here. It looks like... Okay, this probe is just looking for some information. Where's this probe going? So lots of drones and overlords here for our Zerg player, and looks like we're just trying to get a secondary scout, but really not getting much information here, thanks to the Sunken Colony. Now once this Spire comes up, we've got a decent amount of money for Mutalisks, if that's what he wants to make. And it looks like, yep, he just spent a whole bunch of money on Mutalisks here. And so what do we have here back in the main? We've got 1 cannon going up here. And we got 1 cannon here. We do have Corsairs on the way. And NorthernLight has seen this 1 Corsair, so he knows that's on the way, but it's going to get here right as these mutas pop, and these mutas could just kill this Corsair so fast, and that's exactly what they're going to do. 1 Corsair is not going to do anything. And now we're going to work on this moving shot. Look at the moving shot! Look at the moving shot! It's so gorgeous! And that Corsair is going to go down immediately. And we do have a couple of more mutas here. I'd like to see them together in this flock. I prefer casting without the production tab because it just makes it more boring. Because then you're just like casting out the production tab. I personally don't like it. If more people really want it, I'll put it back. But I don't like having the production tab. Because again, like when you're watching like ASL, that's how they normally have it. They don't have the production tab. There's no production tab when you're observing. Well, that's my job. So we do have, we're going into Templar Tech for our Protoss player. Well, they can also watch the replays. This is a cast. Like... Right. I know it's not live. And that's what I mean. I'm doing this like as though it's live. I prefer not to have a production tab because otherwise it's super boring. Anyway, so we're going to have a little micro battle here between these this small group of Corsairs and these Mutalisks trying to get as much damage as they possibly can. But they are going to go ahead and get repelled here. No, I get that, but anybody can watch the replay and have the production tab up if they want. So, I appreciate your feedback, but I'm this is the choice that I'm making. So anyway, so we got a shuttle here. No shuttle speed yet. It does have some zealots lit up inside. We do have some observers coming out here, and gateways going down. And now that these Corsairs have gone out on the map looking for overlords, it looks like these mutants are going to come back in, and they are going to go ahead and try to get some harass down. He does have 8, so he is able to start whittling down this probe count here. And so this switch in the mutants is proving to be fairly effective here, as we have evened up our worker count between our Zerg player and our Protoss player. And here I just saw... Oh, we got... Okay, so we did get a drop-off here. We're going to try to snipe the Spire, and it does look like... I mean, there's really nothing here to stop this. So the Spire is going to go down, so we're not going to be able to get any more mutas out. Now we do have to clean this up. And we're just going to send the mutas back, and that's going to clean it up. We're probably going to get a few Hydras. Oh, they are going to get a couple of drones. That's a little bit unfortunate. Probably caught those as they hatched. Yeah, that was a great tech snipe. Now, I can't imagine that NorthernLight wanted to make much more in the way of mutas. He can't make Scourge, that is one thing. But here, I mean, this is what he really wants to spend all his gas on. Look at this. 11 lurkers in production here. And so, I mean, now we've got a pretty healthy supply here for Zerg, healthy supply here for our Protoss player, and it really is just going to come down to the engages. We've got lurkers here burrowed, we've got a couple of observers here, but he wants to walk across the bridge. This would be a really, really, really bad idea. It's a good way to throw a lot of your units away. No Zealot legs, by the way. Oh wait, no, did legs just finish? Those looked really slow. I think legs just finished. Okay, so good. We do have that. And now we're going to get our third Nexus up. These mutas are just kind of chilling here. They are going to run into a bunch of lurkers here. And Semi, not looking at his army right now, is going to lose a few units. We're going to drop some storms on these mutas. Honestly, I think that's fine here for NorthernLight. You do really want to bait out those storms. And if you're going to have anything get stormed, it's going to be your mutas. As we do now have the counterattack coming in here, we're going to go ahead and pick up this High Templar. We are going to go ahead and deny this Nexus. And now these Hydras are going to get behind this army, but I'm not sure that there's enough here for the Zerg player. No, it looks like he thought he was going to come and flank this army, but actually he's going to get pincered himself between units rallying down from the main and the main army of Semi. And so now we had something like 80 army supply for NorthernLight and 100 army supply for Semi. And now everything here is getting cleared out. And if we look at our upgrades here, let's take a look at our upgrades. We do have +2 range for the Zerg player. So these Hydras are putting out a ton of damage, but I mean, look at the storms. Look at the storms. The storms are amazing, and all of these Hydras are going to get whittled down. Now, we do have more Hydras in production. We've got more lurkers out here. We do have a couple of observers here. Should be able to take this lurker out. Okay, this lurker just barely survived. And a 3 HP lurker is a million times better than a dead lurker. But unfortunately now, how much more value can we get out of these units? They are going to go ahead and continue to just run into each other here. 4th base being taken here by our Zerg player. An attempt here to 3rd Nexus for a Protoss player. And this is really, really tough here because if you want to move across these bridges, I just don't think it's going to work out for a Zerg player. These Zealots can just hold this bridge for 20 years if they want to. And NorthernLight is going to go ahead and move across the bridge here and try to get what damage he can, but there are no lurkers here, and the DPS is not enough. And once you get the Hydralisk clustered here, the storm's just going to go ahead and kill them all immediately. And that's almost everything. I mean, this is all going to get cleaned up now. Look. We do have a decent worker count here, 48 workers for our Protoss player, and his main is pretty much mined out, so he can pretty much send everything over to this third base. Got a couple of DTs out here just being super annoying. No drone transfer yet to this base, which Protoss is going to find out about with his Corsairs. Still no hive here for our Zerg player. And I don't... Okay. +1 carapace just finished. No more upgrades on the way just yet. And we're getting a little bit low on minerals here in the main. The Nat still looks pretty healthy, and the third still looks pretty healthy. Oh, we got a fight going on up here. We do have some units rallying up. We really need to deny this third base for the Protoss player if there's any way we can. We did catch some of these probes getting transferred over. And now this is super annoying because we do have this one Dark Templar here that can clean all of this up because there are no overlords, there is no detection. But if we can keep killing these workers with 10 workers, 12 workers, 14 workers now, I mean, we had so many more workers here for the Protoss player than the Zerg. But now with this one move here, whew, I am starting to run out of breath. This has been a wild third set here, as more Zerg units are being rallied up into this third base natural area. Storm going off, not the greatest storms. I'm gonna go ahead and make this Archon here, and still no detection. We are finally flying some Overlords up here, but I mean, all these Hydras are gonna get cleaned up. We are making some Lurkers, and it's actually looking to me like we're at the point now where I think Zerg is ahead. It's hard for me to say. We're gonna get a fight out in the middle of the map here. We do have plenty of detection for this Dark Templar. We've got plenty of Hydras here to kind of try to take out these Zealots and this one lone Archon. And it's going to come down to the target fire. I have to imagine is where is there's more Dark Templars coming out. There's still 2 Dark Templars. Of course, there's a pushing away to the detection, and all of this is going to get cleaned up once again. And now Protoss is going to make a Nexus up here in the corner, which these Overlords are going to die before they see it. And here we're trying to get on top of the mineral line again, but it's just not going to quite work out. And, oh, I'm so sorry. I completely missed it. I saw the worker count here just plummeted for the Zerg player, and it looks like a Dark Templar did walk around here and was able to just take out a whole bunch. He was close to, like, I want to say 35, maybe even 40 workers. So the Zerg's economy now has just been completely shattered. And yeah, all the storms going down here. All of this is about to get cleaned up. I thought maybe Zerg was gonna be able to just eke it out. But unfortunately, 19 drones. This hatchery is about to die. He's got like 6 Hydralisks. And unfortunately, this is going to be the death throw for our Zerg player. A valiant effort, but just not quite enough. So GG should be coming any minute now. I mean, yeah, we're gonna... I mean, is this Nexus gonna go down? Probably. Does it matter? Not really. I don't like being a negative Nancy about it, but this really is... This game is done. Going back to something I read in the rules, this kinda strikes me as drawing a match out. Because, yeah. Fully mining base here. I mean, yes, we are mined out here and here, and maybe that's what Semi is counting on. Maybe Semi just doesn't know about the space, or not. NorthernLight doesn't know about the space, and so NorthernLight, again, if NorthernLight, if you're watching this, you know, I'm a fucking F rank player casting your game, so please don't take this too much to heart. He may think that the space is not here, and that Protoss is mined out just the way he is, but we can see that that is not actually the case. So Protoss is gonna kind of wait, see did Zerg try to take the space or not. The answer is no. And we're just going to go ahead and start macroing up as best we can with the worker count that we have for the Zerg player. And now Protoss is going to come in here and try to break this third base area with all the macro hatches. We got Hydralisks, we got lurkers, we got sunken colonies. They are going to try to do the best they can. The drones are going to get stormed, and that drone count is going to plummet once again. Now, a bunch of Hydras do hatch, and this is a tough place to just kind of bust. There's, especially with the hatcheries where they are, there's not a lot of surface area to get your units out here. Yeah, that would be my guess, is that Zerg thinks that Protoss isn't mining anymore, and that they're all on, like, their last sets of units. I have to imagine when you see the rest of this, though, at some point you just have to know. Like, he's got another base. Another Dark Templar. Literally just killed the spawning pool. Just waltzed right up in here and killed the spawning pool. Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah. No, 100%. It definitely happens at all levels. It looks like Zerg might want to make one more desperate attempt to take a look. I mean, he's gonna see like no next. He's gonna see a Nexus making here, and I guess this is what's making him think that he still has a chance in this game. And he's gonna try to walk across this bridge, but I mean, there's an observer here. I mean, all of this is gonna die and so quickly. Dropping the storms immediately. All the lurkers die. There's not even a whole control group of Hydras here. Like, all the Hydras on the map barely form one control group. It's just looking so depressing. There is a Zealot somewhere? Where is the Zealot? Oh, there it is. I mean, Zealot's killing the gas, the Corsair's killing the Overlords. And, yeah, I don't really know what to say, other than Protoss has tripled the supply of Zerg. Protoss almost has more workers than Zerg has anything. So... the Zealot just coming in here, trying to do whatever damage it can. Looks like it took out one drone at some point. Oh, Storm drop! Oh, and that killed... I think that Hydralisk had just hatched. And it got the Hydralisk. And a couple of drones. So, good job with the Storm drop harass. And, yeah, just gonna macro up here. Where's a Forge? There's no Forge spinning. We do need to remake that spawning pool at some... Well, no, man, I guess we don't. I actually have not seen any lings here for a while. If we're not going to go up to Hive, we're never going to get circling attack speed, so... So Protoss may be thinking that Zerg has another base, although, I mean, he knows there's no base down here. He knows there's no base here. He's killed the base over here. And, I mean... with an army supply as big as it is... I mean... this is just going to walk across the map and just kill everything, right? And we're just going to go ahead and take our 5th base. And... yeah. There's nothing that Zerg can do here. Absolutely nothing. There it is. GG has been called. And Semi is going to take the series 2-1. So congrats to Semi. My Zerg heart is also broken. I totally understand. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and call it here for today. As again, I do have some things I need to take care of. I was waiting for a phone call that should be coming any minute now. But instead of like splitting up a series, since we just finished that series, I'm going to save the next 2 series for tomorrow. So I'll be back on at the same time tomorrow to finish up week 4. And then we'll kind of just go from there. I think we're getting pretty close to getting everything that's been week forecasted. I'll have to take another look at the calendar and see if maybe I can add some stuff to tomorrow's cast. But I am going to go ahead and cut stream for today. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, look for some more action tomorrow morning about the same time. Cheers, guys. Yo, what up, guys? Music is way too loud in my... I think it's a little bit too loud for you guys. Probably drowning out my voice. Turn this down. Still. Alright, guys. Feel free to let me know how the sound balance is. Because I changed very, very slightly. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. Like I said, there's 2 more sets from Tier 0 from week 4 for these 2 teams. What I might do tomorrow is I saw that there was still some week 4 stuff left over. Or we might just really just go whole hog on this. But yeah, for today we're just going to finish up Tier 0. There's 2 matchups there, and then where we started. Okay, we're going to start out with Grast and KilahAce. That's what we're starting. I guess I'll talk about this a little bit more. Grast actually was in my chat yesterday and was really wanting the production tab up. I kind of prefer not having it up because I feel like when you're casting, you're just casting off the production tab, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, it just feels superfluous. I don't really know how else to say it. But if people really want it on, then I'll leave it on. I just, I don't know. Like I said, I find that like when you're watching Broodwar versus StarCraft 2, in StarCraft 2, they're just like casting off the upper corner. Anyway, I'll leave it on for now. I am going to turn off the replay timer on my end though, because well, on how long or when it's going to end. Let me... Oops. What do we have? Alright, so first we have Grast versus B. Much. Four start. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get into this first replay. Alright guys, starting off once again on Invader. In the top left-hand corner, we our Protoss player representing thank you very much, we have Grast. And in the bottom right-hand corner, representing NorthernLight, third player KilahAce. And this should be exciting. I do like paying attention to how Zergs open in this matchup, especially when it's gate expand, and especially a gate expand on a two-player map. It would be that's something I need to work on. I was talking about that a little bit Discord, just because I was watching Hawk's F to S video, and I don't know, he was seeing some different things than I was, I think. But anyway, we'll have to see what they decide to start with here. No super cheesy stuff so far. Yo, Final Sky, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you joining me here. And yeah, Grast getting his spam on, making sure that APM, make sure his hands are warm. And we're going ahead and getting that overpull down. And yeah, guys, once again, let me know if the audio balance, if I should turn my voice up, turn the music up, turn something down. I will get that adjusted so comfortable. Now, Forge in the main. Huh. Are we looking at a potential cannon rush? I feel like that's fairly uncommon. But again, at this level, there's definitely a lot of things that I don't know. But obviously it's a little bit more common to see like a Forge here, like a Forge pylon here. So maybe I'm thinking more Neo Dark Origin. Maybe this is a little bit harder to wall off. I'm not sure. Anyway. No hatch block attempt by Protoss here, so the hatch goes down on time. Preferred location. And this drone's going to come up here and it's going to confirm that it's a quick Forge. Forge gate. And a photon cannon. So I don't know exactly what this is going to go into. Grast is playing very smart. He probably has an idea. Well, I'm sure. I mean, he's tier 0, right? So, like, we've got our gas, although he hasn't mined much off. 3 gateways. 3 gateways in immediate. Oh my god! Is this just like a zealot all in? What is this? Well, we got Lings running. First 6 Lings have popped out here. They're running across the map. Speed has yet to start. And I guess that as soon as as soon as KilahAce gets in here, I mean, so Grast probes are fairly well defended, so this is really just going to be some information here for KilahAce. Like, he's going to walk in here, he's going to see all of these gateways, and I have to imagine, like, do you just get, like, 3, like, sunks here or something like that? I want to see what his response is going to be. Oh, and this cannon perfectly reaches right over here, so you can't even, like, you can't harass the gateway, you can't wait for zealots to pop out, like, your zealots are perfectly safe. You can start banking those up. And, okay, we do see the third hatch going down at the natural, and an immediate Hydralista. Okay. So no creep colonies going up yet, which I find kind of interesting. I would think that's what he would have wanted. Bulgarian national team captain. Bulgaria has a national StarCraft team? I need to know more about this. Can you tell me more about that, please? What, a national StarCraft team? Bro, I got questions. I got lots of questions. This probe is getting chased way down. This probe is just going on a fucking world tour. We do have some more lings running up to the natural of Grast. And look at this. My god. It's actually kind of terrifying. +1 is almost done. And we have no sunken colonies. Like there are no creep colonies at all. And these are coming across the map. Like 18 drones. Hydra speed is almost done. I'm guessing, like, can you just hold position lings and have your... I guess he's going to just rely on the Sim City of the 2 hatcheries? I'm guessing that's the plan, is to rely on the Sim... But look, these are just going to go right up into the main! He wasn't holding his ramp! Okay, we're getting some... Like, the drones are kind of helping out here. The Hydralisks are trying to do what they can. The Hydralisks have just popped. They do have speed. Range not on the way just yet. And it really is just a matter of, right now, not losing any drones, which is actually incredible. The Zealots, a couple of Zealots did get up into the main, but they haven't done anything right now. We started out with something, I want to say, like 8 or 9 Zealots, and now we're down to 6. We're trying to drill as best we can here. The Overlord's getting on top of things. The Hydras are trying to do everything they can in order to hold on, but I think now we are starting to lose those drones. We are rallying down even more Zealots from the main. 1 Zealot dead, but now we're down to just 11 drones. Now, like, we got 1 Hydra that I can see. It's so hard to click on anything. Trying to drill as best we can. This drilling is actually fairly impressive. There is still 1 Zealot left in the main. 1 more Zealot coming down. I don't know exactly how to call this. I mean, it looks like this is kind of held. The thing is that he's sending down 3 more Zealots. And so it's going to be a little bit tough here. I mean, this hatchery and this pool probably aren't going to go down anytime soon, although I'm a little bit surprised he's not sending any units up to try to help that out. But he knows, you know, we got 6 more Zealots en route, and this spawning pool is almost dead. Now wants to get all these Zealots up and fighting in the same spot, trying really hard to let these Zerglings body block while the Hydras do damage. And now we're probably going to have to bring the drones out once again and drill them on top of these Zealots. And here again, here comes more. I mean, as soon as you clean these up, more Zealots are going to start coming through here. We're down to now 7 drones. We have not had any chance to make any more drones, and this Nexus is done. I feel so bad here. GG is called. Grast is going to go up. Grast is going to go ahead and go up 1-0. But my goodness, I think, like, 1 creep colony here and 1 creep colony here, and I think you just hold that, right? What's up, Dada? How you doing, man? I mean, like, look, like 1 creep colony here and 1 creep colony here. What is that? 2 drones and 125 minerals? So like, I think you hold. Like, he was so close to holding. He was so close to holding that. +1 3-gate rush. Wow. That was wild. Learning new things. I'm getting wrinkles in my brain, guys. We just got through game 1 and I'm getting wrinkles in my brain. I love it. That's what we're here for, right? Righty. Go ahead and get into game 2 on Tempest. A successful probe rush. That is pretty wacky. Alright, guys. Here we are. On Tempest. Number 2, top left corner here. Got KilahAce representing NorthernLight, our Zerg player, and down here we have Grast representing. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah. I got you. Yeah, I always have Discord up on my second monitor, so I did see. I've been paying attention. I have a question for people who know more about remaster than I do. What is this glowy Nexus? Do you have to pay for that? Is that like a skin? Because I feel like I don't have this like glowy hatchery. It looks cool. I mean, I guess I don't necessarily, it doesn't matter to me one way or the other. But like, is that like a skin? Like, what is that? Ah, pre-order. I see. I mean, I don't care. I'm not gonna. The Zerg one looks. Yeah, the Zerg one looks super cool, but like, I don't care that I can't get it anymore. I'm not a skin person. I was kind of a skins person when I played League of Legends, but even then I didn't buy that many. I would buy like maybe one skin every couple of months for a character that I played a lot, but I didn't really buy skins. This is just like, this to me is like the definition of like extra. Like if you looked up extra in a dictionary, in like Urban Dictionary, that's what that would be. This I feel like is tasteful. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's talk about the game. There's not a whole lot to talk about. I mean, these two workers are gonna have a little face-off. They're gonna kiss. We got first set of lings coming out here from the Overpool opening. KilahAce. Not getting the hatchery down yet. Making some lings first. I imagine... Does Kilah know that it's close? Is that what's going on here? Now, we do have a gate expand. Which, again, gate expand in close spawns and Protoss scouted first. So I'm very curious as to where this game's going to go from here. Are you telling me what? I don't care. Don't... A gas steal from Zerg. Alrighty then. Don't tell me how I feel about building skins, okay? Well, I mean, I don't know exactly what the plan was here for Grast, but I don't think getting his first zealot and his probes surrounded was part of it. No. Okay, we do have the hatchery going down in the natural, but... and now we got probes drilling up here onto the ramp. Grast trying to hold on for dear life here as suddenly we've just hard committed. I thought this was an overpool, but maybe it was an, like a 9 pool? And my goodness, like, Grast is actually doing a pretty darn good job of holding this, if I do say so myself. Did lose that first zealot, but hasn't lost much in the way of probes just yet. But here comes some more lings. We got 2 more lings rallying down. And in fact, actually, that's 4 more lings, as we do have the rally set for the natural. And now this is all about the ling micro versus the probe micro. And Grast really making these probes look like the best unit in the game. As now this zealot is right where he wants to be. Like, you cannot get a lot of surface area here, and the probes doing the best they can to reduce the surface area that the lings can get on them as well. And I mean, KilahAce, he is getting that second hatchery up, but he's got 6 drones. He's got 6 drones to 13 probes of Protoss. And it looks like a forge went up in the main, as we do have a photon cannon now going down at the natural. And I think it's at this point that, I mean, the aggression just has to stop from KilahAce, right? Yeah, I should have been paying a little bit more attention rather than talking about skins, because I would have seen that the pool went down earlier. That is, that's my bad. I'm sorry, guys. So this cannon will finish, and we do have more lings coming down. And it looks like this finished. I mean, he held that with, I want to say he pulled like 8 probes to his ramp. And the way that he drilled those, and like, I don't think he lost a single probe until after he lost his zealot. Like, that was 9 different flavors of insanity as far as I'm concerned. Still no gas here. I guess he'll take the gas after. Cancels the 3rd hatch. So he showed the 3rd hatch and then he canceled it. I thought maybe he'd go 3rd hatch into gas and finally get ling speed. He is making drones. Also trying to run past the photon cannon. A second one being made here. More zealots on the way. Is he... But we're making more drones, but we're also making more zerglings. Probably just to stay safe in case these decide to walk across the map. Okay. Oh, we got a lot more lings coming here. Oh, we got a photon cannon to take out the extractor. That's got to be super annoying. And so we got, what, about 15 lings here, I want to say. It looks like you could run around here and potentially, like, get into the main if you wanted to go around this way. But also, these zealots are going to go ahead and move out onto the map, which is, again, a fairly bold move. Now, hiding these lings up here on the high ground, and these lings are going to run... So we're going to move these zealots across the map. These lings could run into the main, but they could also just come in and surround these zealots. He should have moved out. I don't think he should have moved out. Oh, man. Wanting to get a little bit aggressive on the map. Maybe, you know, find some map presence for himself. Now these zealots are going to move back and hold position at the natural. Still no gas here for our Zerg player, who is slightly supply blocked right now. That's okay. Got about 13 lings here. And now finally getting into both gases here for the Protoss player. And a 3rd hatch. So we had the 3rd hatch in the main. That's what the Protoss saw. And he canceled that. And then expanded over here. So I guess we're just kind of hiding. Oh, double expand. Let's go. We're just going to take this main and this nat. And I think this zealot looking for something. He went all the way around this way, and I thought maybe he'd go up to that main, but he didn't quite. Yeah, I mean, we finally have gas reserve. Finally. Literally, we're just now mining gas. And here comes the zealot. I mean... We need to bring these lings back home, like, ASAP. Hydralisk Den goes down immediately. Microing this zealot round as best we can. Trying to target some of those damage drones. Now the drill comes down, and these lings are going to come in. They're going to clean this right up. But now, we've got more zealots moving across the map. Stargate just finished. +1 on the way. And the Citadel's on the way as well. And so is the second Hydralisk Den. Okay. I think that was... I'm curious if he's going to go, like, double upgrades to try to get his, like, good Hydras out really fast and then hold this as a wall in. This building does have a lot of health. I guess I'm just a little surprised he built 2 Hydralisk dens instead of just building an Evo chamber. Oh, Zealot's going into... Yep. He's like, what could KilahAce possibly be doing right now that's going to help him out? And of course, the easiest thing to do is just go take a hidden expansion. And so now this has been found. And we're going to have to run some lings over here, but does he have enough lings? He's got these Hydras out. Okay, he's doing exactly what I thought he would. He's getting both Hydra upgrades at the same time. And then after, I wonder if Lurker Aspect is going to start up shortly after that as well. Now, these drones are going to lead these Hydras over to this base. This Zealot's going to hang out here and just try to be super annoying. And we do have a lair on the way, so that does suggest that we are going to go into Lurker. No Ling speed at all. Meanwhile, back at the Protoss base, we do have legs on the way, Temple Archives on the way, and going up into 5 gateways. Not a lot of Corsairs. We do have some Corsairs out on the map. One over here and one over here being annoying. Yo, what up, KilahAce? How you doing, man? This has been a wild game to cast, and the first game was super wild as well. I've been enjoying watching these. That first game with the +1 Zealot pressure all in. Actually, Kilah, I'm curious. In that first game, I think if you had like 2 creep colonies, you would have held the +1 Zealots. I don't know if you were just trying to rely on your SimCity, because I'm a tier 3 player. I'm fucking terrible. So I'm just curious, like, if you thought you could just hold on the previous map the +1 Zealots. It was close. From my perspective, it was close. Now, we've got the Hydras rallying down here, but speed has already finished up for these Zealots, and +1 speed lots are fucking terrifying. So these Hydralisks are going to have to back up. Not going to get as much damage as he might have liked. We do have Corsairs in the main. These Hydralisks should probably go over and chase those off. Just trying to be as annoying as possible. Now, these 2 bases, Protoss does know about them now, but they are fairly well saturated. It looks like we're going to start sending speed light. Like, look at how fucking fast these things are. Fucking terrifying if you're a player. So we are going to go ahead and see, you know, we got a super healthy drone count. We're getting into Hydralisk. We're getting into that Lurker Aspect. Actually, that's already done. So, curious if we're going to see a Queen Nest at some point in the near future. Maybe go up into Hive, try to get some Defilers out. But for now, we at least need to deal with these Corsairs and these speed lots. Speed lots going over here. Looks like we did manage to get all the drones out, but we are going to go ahead. We are going to lose that hatchery. And now +2, +1 on the way for our Protoss players, sticking up, keeping up on those upgrades. Look at how far around these Hydras have to come to try to get over here and deal with this. This is so incredibly annoying. We do have some Hydras up here rally down to the natural, but unfortunately they're going to get cleaned up by these Zealots. And we do have our first sets of High Templar coming out here as well. And we have several storms banked, it looks like, already. We've got, like, minimum 4 storms. We're going to be going up to, like, 7 or 8 storms here pretty soon. And, yeah, I mean, look at this. Just Zealots everywhere. And Zealots with legs, man. They're so scary and they're so fast. So, now we have all the you know, we got our Hydra Tech. Got our bases up, got them saturated. Trying to take this base over here, but man, and just right-clicking on the Nexus. Now, what is this, dude? This is gonna die. He's just gonna kill it. My God. People talk about cracklings killing buildings quickly. Like, what the fuck? +1 speed lots? Today I learned all you need are 8 speed lots and you can just right-click a hatchery. Alright then. I was kind of curious about that myself. I did like that you had that. Like, I understand wanting this just for the SimCity. Now moving out and yeah, this lurker contain was completely cleaned up. And this is looking a little rough for our Zerg player, unfortunately. No hive yet. There's the evolution chamber going down. Here we are bringing down some more Hydralisks. Now look at this High Templar count. Like, oh my God. Like one or two good storms is like all you need here. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense that it would be hard to contain. Storms up here on the high ground, and oh my goodness, man. If you're Zerg here, I just don't really know what the best. Getting into hive seems like it'd be a potentially good idea, but here we are. We're gonna go ahead and mark. Oh, I like this. Pulling back, he storms behind, and then the Hydras come back forward, making some Archons here, and there just are not enough Hydralisks. It's so rough. We're even getting into Goons. +2 already done. We're just now getting into +1 range for Zerg. And my heart goes out to the Zerg player because it's so hard to know what to do in a situation like this. Protoss knows exactly what they want to do. They want to start taking down these expansions. There were some speed lots that were kind of hidden in this back corner over here, and they've gone up and done a little bit of harassment. Now this entire Protoss army is just going to walk right over these bases. This is so unfortunate. And yeah, the upgrade advantage, it's very real. I mean, +2 armor is on the way, and +2 missile, or +1 range isn't done yet for our Zerg players, so. And the perfect storms go down, and they're just going to clean up these. It doesn't even matter that there's no observer with this army, because the storms are just going to clean up all the lurkers. And yeah, this expansion goes down. We still have plenty of drones here. I mean, the drone count's still fairly healthy. I think we're like a little oversaturated here. Could maybe transfer some drones over here. More Hydras being rallied down to the natural, but again, really just not getting a whole lot done here. Trying to walk home, but really just going to go ahead and get cleaned up. And now we're sitting on a pretty significant supply differential. 133 to 80, and similar drone counts, or similar worker counts. I do like to see, healthy worker count of the Zerg, but Zerg doesn't need to be making workers right now. Zerg needs to be making army. We do see some lurkers on the way. And now Protoss has decided it's time to try to break into the natural. We've got one colony here. We got another colony making. We're trying to storm some of these lurkers and some of these eggs. Lurkers do hatch. And this storm is just going to get right on top of a couple of these lurkers. He's got a couple left over. Could really just clean all of this up just with storms by itself. Here comes the observer here. Knows where those lurkers are. This storm's going to go down. And we just got these 2 lurkers left over here. Storm's going to go down over here. Corsair's taking out all the overlords. Speedlots are just going to right-click onto this Hydralisk den and take that out. And that's more or less all she wrote. And yep, Kilah calls GG and Grast. Gonna go ahead and take it. 2-0. Kilah, dude, come on. Stop it. Okay, look. I thought this was gonna be like a pair of Evo chambers. And would that have been better? Probably. But, that's not what made the difference, right? So, it is what it is. Don't beat yourself up too much. Those were fun games to watch. I really enjoyed casting those. So yeah, Grast took that series Grast took that series 2-0. In our next series, I'm gonna take a bite of my pizza. Alright, so for set 2, or match 2, we have Type 100 versus Specialist. Oh, I gotta make sure the races are... Oh. Alrighty. Alright, guys. Getting into our last match. At least for this set of replays for the tier 0. In the top left corner, we have Type 100 representing Thank You Very Much. And in the bottom right corner, we have Precision representing Lights. Been casting a lot of ZVP in this replay pack, which again, I need to start watching some of these plays on my own. Get some idea of what I can do to be a better Zerg player. I never played Zerg in Star. When I played Broodwar as a kid, I always played Terran, and when I played StarCraft 2, I always played Terran. So I thought it would be fun to try a different race, getting back into Broodwar as an adult. We'll just have to see what these players choose to do here in the early game. A 9 pool from Type 100. Just if we're going to get like an extractor trick or something like that. And we have a gate expand here for the Protoss player. Okay, real talk. This annoys me so much. The drone like glitched up here and then went around and then went up to make the extractor. I know we all love this game for its jank, but that bit of jank, like when you're trying to make your extractor and then make more drones, and you make more drones before the extractor goes down, so your extractor doesn't go down on time. I hate it every time. I hate it. So the probe's going to come up here. Probe's going to confirm that it was in fact a 9 pool, and now we've got our lings coming out. No gas yet. I guess the lings are going to chase away this probe, and then our will go down. And then yeah, gate expand. Forge coming up right after that. And it looks like we're just going to send our lings across the map. Well, first we're going to try to deny this probe. Or no, they're going to go across the map and the probe's going to get right inside. The probe's going to see that they're... we're going to go take our... We're going to go expand third. And the probe's going to see that there's no gas yet. Going to try to get a little bit of harass down, but going to get chased out by these lings. And then we're just going to go take our natural, and everything's going to be perfectly fine. Meanwhile, back here at the Protoss base, going to put a little bit of pressure on this gateway, but there is a photon cannon going up that will protect that. And both players just, you know, getting their dance on here. Is this gonna go down? Like this... Was this cannon late? He killed the gateway. He actually got the gateway. I'm surprised he's not just trying to run in, if I'm being honest. I can't believe he actually got that gateway. I guess this cannon was just a little bit too late. Oh, taking the gas. Another probe coming out. I guess the probe's trying to go for a secondary scout, see if it's like... Because I don't think the probe ever saw this third base, so I don't think the probe knows whether or not there's an expansion or if it's some... having to make another gateway and more photon cannon. Precision's got to be a little bit... Or a specialist has to be. Did I say that right? I put the ID name... Because I put the ID name instead of the player name. I think this is supposed to... So now after those shenanigans, we got probes blocking for run-bys, and now we've got zealots walking across the map here. How many lings do we have? We've got 7 lings, so we got some more on the way. And now we're really just trying to put the pressure on, force more lings out, maybe force out a creep colony. Ling speed has been started. That layer has also been started. We'll have to see if it's going to be a Spire or a Hydralisk Den. And now, I mean, here's, Zerg getting into a bit of an advantageous position here, really getting good surrounds off on these Zealots. The Zealots are trying to micro as best they can, maybe try to get on top of a couple of drones, try to see if they can't find themselves a couple drone kills. Oh, gets one. Wow. Almost gets another. That was so quick. And now that probe does finally go down. And so now, the Nexus going down for the Protoss player, getting into that gas. Cyber Core going down as well. And we're going to go ahead and get a Spire. I like this. I like seeing Spire play. I like seeing what Zergs like to do with Spire play. Especially if it's a Stargate coming up for Protoss. We're now transferring some workers over. Oh, are we doing 9-7? Are we 973? Is this 973? Got 9. 5. Okay, no, we're not. We're not. Zealots trying to decide whether or not they want to walk across the map. They seem a little bit non-committal. I have to imagine if Type 100 sees these Zealots, he might just try to run by, although now we've got this Zealot. Where are the rest of... All the lings are, like, up by the natural. Okay, more Zealot pressure coming in here. Can these Zealots get any kills? The Spire is done, and Mutas are on the way. We do have the Stargate finishing up here for Specialist. And we did get 1 drone. This drone badly hurt. We got 1 more drone. And can we get a 3rd drone? No, we cannot quite get a 3rd drone. But the Zealot pressure is starting to add up a little bit. We have lost a handful of drones here. 2737. It's decent enough economy. But again, we are getting into Mutalisks. And will the Protoss player be ready? We've got 1 photon cannon here. So that should cover this soft spot by the gas, and this should cover... You might be able to take advantage of this terrain back here. I'm not sure. It seems to me like the photon cannon should pretty much cover. It's looking to me like Protoss is pretty ready. I mean, we are making Corsairs. Mutalisks are starting to come across the map now. It looks like the Lings are also going to come across the map at the same time. In SimCity here, we got the Sunk Colony, the Evo Chamber, we got our macro hatches up, and now we're going to go ahead and go into Hydras. I have to imagine that Lurker aspect is going to be starting up here pretty soon. Now, what can we get done with these Mutalisks? Plenty of Mutalisks and Scourge on the way here. Oh yeah, I forgot I can see what their hotkeys are. Oh, I love this. All right, here we go. Gonna go ahead and try to get these Scourge. Can the Scourge connect onto the Corsairs? Right now, just a little bit of a dogfight here. A little bit of pot shots. No huge advantage either way. We did. I think we got one Scourge off. It's kind of hard to tell. They had a quick skirmish and then decided to go their separate ways. Now we're just getting into Hydralisk up. Getting that +1 ranged and +2 flyer. That's flyer. Yeah, +2 flyer. Zealot legs and +1 arrow on the way. We're also starting to get that Templar count up. Going up to getting our gateways up. Getting our macro on. Protoss, I would think, would be wanting to start looking for a third base here pretty soon. We do have Lings on the lookout for any third bases. Right now, no sign of one just yet, as we're getting our tech and our upgrades out. Those are done. We'll probably see a little bit more of a forward position for our players as they decide to go secure their next source of gas. Yeah, we'll just have to see what when they decide they want to engage. It does look like now legs done, +1 is done, and that has triggered the Protoss to move out here. Now, I thought I saw some High Templar. Storm is done, but now really just going Zealot, Archon, Corsair here. So we'll have to see how good is the engage. We do have the Hydras coming up here. It might be a little bit nicer if there were some Zerglings to support here, but right now, Specialists just choosing to respect the amount of Hydras that are actually out right now. +1 range is done. These Corsairs could get chewed up really quickly. In fact, have taken quite a bit of damage already. Just one Archon here for support, and some High Templar on the way. This is quite a bit of Hydras here, but it's also quite a bit of speed lots, and we do have some Dragoons here to help out as well. We got a lot of Scourge here trying to look for those Corsairs, but the Corsairs are back here. They have found a giant cluster of Overlords to try to harass, but while a Specialist is harassing the Corsairs, the Hydralists are just cleaning up, and I have to imagine, I mean, this is more than enough to try to bust the front here, as we're just going to start target firing. First, we're going to target fire this, then we're going to target fire the Forge. We're going to deny that +1 armor. We're going to start target firing more cannons, and more cannons are going to go down here. The gateway is going to go down here momentarily, and in just a matter of moments, these Hydras are going to be on top of this Nexus, and that is where Specialist gonna call GG. Just like that, Type 0 goes up 1-0. Or Type 100 goes up 1-0. So, good job to him. That was a pretty wild... Wow, both players were averaging 250 APM. That's bonkers. Game 2 on Tempest. That was a crazy game. I've never seen Lings just kill a Protoss's gateway like that. Like, what the heck? Realize that thing is... That's how I wanted. I didn't want to... so yeah. That was... I've been loving casting. I mean, obviously everybody wants to look at the tier 0 games, see what the best of the best look like. I've definitely been having a fun time checking these games out with you guys. And let's go ahead and get into game number 2. Tempest. Okay. Alright, guys. Game number 2 on Tempest. In the lower right corner, we have Berserk player up 1-0. It is Type 100. Descending, thank you very much. And in the top left corner, representing specialist, or representing NorthernLight is specialist. We do have cross spawns here. So hopefully we'll see a bit more of a standard macro type of game, but we could see a little bit of aggression. Did see that gate expand from specialist in game 1, and the 9 pool aggression from type 100 was able to hold off some of that gate expand pressure. And eventually was able to just get that Hydralisk count up and convert it to a win. It is going to be a gateway expand again from Specialist. So we'll likely be seeing some. So let's move across the map. Now, hatch first here from Type 100, probably feeling like it's safer to do so on this map, given that it is a much bigger map, 4-player map. But we'll have to see when he sees that's a gateway expand, how he chooses to respond to that. Hydra Den. Gotta get that Sim City in good working order. Pool on the way. Last time we did see the Forge go down. Help block up the natural. And it looks like they're both going to scout each other about the same time. Their workers met. And so this worker is going to get down here and see that it was a hatch first. And the drone's going to come up here. Gateway. I guess the Nexus before the Forge. Again, probably just because it is that larger map. You don't need to get that Forge down immediately. And so both players going for more economic builds. Now, there is a Zealot walking across the map. But these Lings are going to come out right as the Zealot is getting here. So this should not be a big deal for our Zerg player. And in fact, immediately just turns around with the Zealot. I'm curious if he's going to hide it somewhere. Or the drone's going to see this walking back. Not actually making any more Zealots. Okay, I thought maybe he would try to put a little more pressure down with his first couple Zealots, but actually just choosing to stay in the natural and get that economy going. Third base on location. Third hatch on location for Zerg. These Lings are going to come out on the map, and they're just going to poke right up this ramp, and they're going to see that this cannon is done. This cannon was a little bit more on time as compared to last game where the gateway went down. Decent number of Lings here. And again, just going to apply a little bit of pressure while we get that Ling speed on the way, while we get an eye this. But again, there's a photon cannon here, and this is all plugged up. Nothing crazy is going to happen. Yeah. Just going to confirm what's going on up here at the wall in, but not going to overcommit. And that's what we like to see. Target sorted up for the Protoss player. He'd almost done. Fourth hatchery on the way, and now we're going to go ahead and put those drones back on gas. Overlord going to go in here and confirm that it is a Stargate. And now that we have our macro hatch up, we're going to go ahead and second gas as well. Alrighty, Hydralisk then does go down. That is going to be the core army for this portion of the game. Citadel, of course, going down. Want to get that Zealot legs. And, yeah, just going to go ahead and macro up from there. Oh, well, we have a little bit of downtime here. Just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. I've been having a lot of fun casting these games. There were 4 drones on this gas a moment ago, and I was waiting to see if he was going to take 1 off, and he took 2 off. I assume that wasn't... He's got 3 drones over here. Yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I've been having a lot of fun. Looks like, I don't know if this is an overcommit here. I did miss this. But it looks like a lot of these links were... This light contain here was taken out as soon... But that +1 not quite done yet. Leg started up. But it looks like these zealots just moved out and just took out all these links. Which, I mean, it's not a huge deal. I have to imagine that was just a moment where both I and Type 100 were looking away for a moment and realized that the zealots had moved out of the... And now these Corsairs are going to come out and just be really, really, really annoying. Especially given that there are no overlords in production right this second for Zerg. So it would be not terribly difficult to get Zerg supply blocked. +1 range on the way, as well as... Or, yeah, +1 ranged and Hydralisk range on. And now getting those gateways up for the Protoss player. Legs are done. +1 almost done. Storm on the way and a DT on the way. We do have an Evo chamber, but no spores just yet. So sometimes it's nice to put like a spore and a sunken right here. Fairly safe from DT. Here comes this DT going across the map. Look at how cool that is. And yeah, the Corsairs are going to come in here and chase away the overlords, and the DT's going to try to sneak in. Drone kills. How that fares. Now, these overlords are fairly well protected by these Hydralisks. So it's going to be hard to get in there, but this... Well, we do have Hydralisks down here as well. And an extremely healthy drone count here for our Zerg player. 47 drones is just perfect. It's amazing. Delicious. Alright, so now we're going to hide this DT over here and bring down our +1s, our zealots. Legs +1's done. Storm's done. Looks like we got quite a few storms saved up here on these High Templar. 1 in the bank and 1 each coming up shortly thereafter. And here comes that DT. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my goodness, 7. Now he finally notices. 7 drone kills. Now, he did have the Hydras in position, but they can't see it anymore because there was only 1 Overlord here. Overlord speed is finished, and now, right as Type 100 was looking away, that's when Specialist decides to pounce, but these Hydralisks were ready and waiting up on the high ground, getting the first shots off on these Zealots. The Storms are really, really good, even though he was trying to fight up the ramp here. He's got Dragoons backing up as well. +1 range almost done. Also done for the Protoss player. Now taking this high ground position. These Hydras probably should back up to the natural expansion. Hydra is coming up from the third base here. And this DT could go in and backstab at any time. Storm's now still doing great amounts of damage. Oh my goodness, the Hydra's just melting. The supply is plummeting for our Zerg player. A lot of the Zealots have been cleaned up, and of course that's the job that they're here to do. They're here to soak up all the damage for the Hydralisk so the Dragoons and the High Templar can do as much damage as they need to. Corsairs coming here to try to pick off all these Overlords. We're going to try to fly those back into the main, but we might wind up supply blocked here just a moment. Just 1 or 2 more Overlords, and that's going to do it. And now we're just relying on the Sim City, on the Sunken Colonies, on the handful of Hydras that we have left over. Is there anything that can rally from the natural? Yes. We have nearly a control group's worth of Hydralists down here. Oh my goodness, they could clean this up so fast. He just needs to bring them up, but they've been forgotten about. It's so unfortunate. Either that or he wants to leave them in there just in case DT happens to come back, but he needs them up here. More units in production for a Protoss player as they come down. These goons being rallied down. We've got some observers, got more zealots on the way. These Corsairs are still here, and now moving out and going up onto the high ground here is the Zerg player. I'm not sure now finally was going to move these out, but this DT came back, and it's gotten 13 kills on this one Dark Templar. It's, oh, you hate to see it. 15 kills. He finally cleans that up, but I mean, again, we were at 47 drones, and now, just as the Hydras clean up that Dark Templar, these Dragoons come back up. They are going to go ahead and take out this Evolution Chamber, and just as the Hydralisk comes up, he's going to pull back, not wanting to overcommit, not wanting to overextend. And in this moment, Zerg does choose to go ahead and drone up. Third Nexus on the way for our Protoss player. And if you're Protoss, you got to be feeling pretty good right now. I mean, my God, that one Dark Templar did such an absurd amount of work, and now we've got some. The Lurker aspect is done. We got Lurkers on the way. We've got +1 Carapaces on the way, and we're looking to take our 4th base here. But Protoss is gonna deny this immediately, and these Lurkers are gonna have to. I mean. Yeah, he's going to have to cancel these, but the Hydras are going to die as soon as he cancels them. I don't know. It might have almost been better to let them try to finish. But now Protoss is just going to come right up into the natural. That Evo Chamber is gone for the Sim City, but we do have Lurkers here. There is an Observer, but you really don't want to be attacking up into Lurkers on the high ground if you can avoid it. More Lurkers on the way here. We've got plenty of Lurkers at this 3rd base location. Unfortunately, Type 100's bank is not looking like... what you'd want. Hive is on the way here, remaking that Evo chamber as well. And oh my goodness. Whew. I am out of breath. These games have been very action-packed here. Plenty of observers moving across the map here as, again, we do have those Lurkers out. I have about halfway done. Would really like to get into some adrenalings. And now we're just going to go ahead and pounce on this 3rd base location. And I just don't see any way that you save this. We're going to go ahead and drop storms on the drones. The drones just getting completely decimated. We've got speedlots coming in from the left-hand side as well. And it looks like this is going to get deflected a little bit. Like, again, Protoss being really, really, really careful about not overcommitting. But honestly, with the supply lead that Protoss has right now, I'm not sure if it's possible to overcommit. Storm's going down on these Hydras. Storm's going down on these Lurkers. They're going down on the drones. I mean, Storm's just going off everywhere. We are bringing down the units from the natural that were there before, but we got Overlords in place, or Observers in place. We've still got Storms for days, and it's really unfortunate, but I do think this is more or less GG. Yeah. Zerg is on 55 supply. At most, you've got a handful of Hydras and a couple of... I mean, there's exactly one Lurker that could get stormed at any time and just die. These observers are gonna get picked off, which is... You're gonna get some sort of a win. I guess that's a win, but... I mean, look at this. Fully saturated. Fully saturated. This is close to mining out, but we're still essentially 2.5 basis mining for Protoss. And Zerg is barely mining at all from here. And there is just no way. I mean, 1A all these units and you basically run this over. There's one lurker here. There's no more. There's lurkers on the way in the natural, but there's none here. And so Protoss has decided that this is where they want to try to end the game. I mean, they really just want to deny... Like, they've denied this gas multiple times. They've been killing off the drones, and really all that's left to do is just get the base... Kill the base itself. Now, Adrenal did just finish, so the Lings are a lot better than they were a moment ago, but really, I mean, the Zealots... I mean, we've got... What do we have? Do we have +2 here yet? We got 1-1. +2 is on the way. +1 melee almost done for our Zerg player, but, like... Yeah, there's no way to hold this, unfortunately. He is called... That's what's going to even this up 1-1. Our last set for week 4 of CPL is going to go ahead and go into a third game. I'm going to get into 3-play in a moment. I'm going to go get some water. I will... Forgot to unmute myself. Alright. Go ahead and get into this last set, or last match. Game number 3. Neo Dark Origin. Alright guys, last set before going to King of the Tiers of the Tier 0 CPL replays. In the top left is Type 100. And in the bottom left, we have Special. These have been some really interesting games. These two players do seem pretty evenly matched. Sometimes even within tiers you have matchups that look a little bit less even than others. But yeah, it's pretty exciting when you get two players that seem to know what they're doing and are on more or less the same playing field. We'll have to see if Game 3 is exciting. The previous games have been. Looks like we're going to go over pool. And been gate expand so far from Specialist. We'll have to see if it's just a gate expand again. Or if we're maybe going to get Forge expand. Nope, more gate expand, so likely more Zealot pressure coming. And the probe is going to come in and see that it was a pool first. And it's going to feel pretty safe about it. And it's going to want to onto that appropriately. Get that Forge up. Get that Zealot block in there. And now we're going to have the shenanigans between the probe and the drone. Oh, how are we going to get this hatchery down? Are we gonna send? We're gonna send this to the third, and then maybe send one down here from here. The probe is wanted to go up and maybe block the ramp, but nope. We're just gonna go ahead and go to the third base location. And now the Lings are out going to go ahead and kill the probe and let the drone get that third base down. Got a Zealot moving across the map. And seeing the Zerglings that have already been made and the Overlord spots of two, just going to go ahead and turn around. Does not want to lose those early Zealots. Gateway going to go down now. Now, a secondary probe was sent out here, and the Lings kind of caught it. It did manage to drill past them. We do have two Lings holding the ramp here. So, I mean, I don't know if Protoss had already seen this natural hatchery, but, you know, at this point, it's... Protoss has gotten all the information they're going to get at this phase in the game. You see the Hydralisk Den here. No Ling speed yet. Cybercore, and then I have to imagine a Forge is going up here pretty soon. Yep, there's the Forge. Zealots did walk up briefly and then turned around. I'm actually surprised these... I'm a little bit surprised those Zealots turned around. I would have thought that they would have wanted to just keep walking up because there's really not that many Lings here, and this probe is going to get in And will still not see the Hydralisk Den. That was a bit of an impressive bit of micro there from Type 100. Does deny that scout. So Protoss still does not know exactly what the tech is. Could be a lair, there could be a spire, but we know Hydralisk Den, and also no speed. Now these things walk across the map. Once again, this photon cannon is a little bit delayed, so we could get some pressure down on this gateway. This is looking more like game one, where these things could, to my mind, could just right-click this gateway and potentially take it out. Target and second gas going up. +1 started, and this cannon is done, so really not much pressure to be had. Gateway. The range, and now macro up. Maybe get a little harassed down once we start getting some Corsairs out of the Stargate. Why is it that it only... Why do the hotkeys only go to the Zerg player and not the Pro? Does anybody know? Do anybody of you know how the observer thing works? Is there a way that I can see the Protoss's hotkeys? Comes the first Corsair. Go ahead and... Well, was going to try to chase that off. Actually, ends up flying over some Hydralisk. Is he going to pick this off? The Hydralisk were rallying down, and wow, that almost got completely picked off. Now, range is done, so we are going to get the Forge harassed on. Now, this +1 is nowhere close to being done yet. Now, we do have plenty of cannons, so we should be safe against the Hydra Bust. And wow, all the damage that Corsair had taken as it was flowing over, and it just gets taken out immediately. Gateway goes down, and the +1 has been canceled, so Specialist decides to just say, screw it. You got the +1. Good job, you win. And the Forge was almost instantly remade in the main base, so that's already almost back up. These Zealots going to come out and see if they can try to bait the Hydras forward, but they were in hold position, just as they should. Blair on the way, likely want to go into some Spire tech. Plenty of good Sim City here in case there's any speed lot run-bys. And sending Lings all across the map to watch for expansion. This player going up to 4 gateways and a second Forge. Wanting to get those upgrades out as quickly as possible. Another Corsair. Gonna go ahead and try to skirt around these Hydralisks. Actually, is gonna avoid a lot of the vision that Berg has on the map. Gonna actually spot a few more Hydralisks rallying down to the natural. And these Hydralisks are already in position to try to maybe snipe this. Hunting for Overlords, but really, I mean, they're all clustered up right here. There's really nothing... Well, okay, here's one. Here's one Overlord that this can potentially kill it, and yet, even still, we've got a Hydralisk there hanging out, so... Type 100 on his... on top of his game here. +1 range on the way for Zerg, and still making... We got that Lurker aspect done, and we're still making Hydralisk. And potentially going for a Lurker bust. Now, we do have Templars out. I don't see Storm being researched, so I assume that that's already done. Legs almost done. +1 armor, about halfway done. Adding on more gateways. Now a shuttle. Goon range on the way as a response to the Hydras. And droning up here, our Zerg player feeling pretty safe with the light contain. These Corsairs still just poking around, trying to see if there's anything that they can get done. Really mostly just getting scouts off. Well, lurkers are on the way here. And it looks like this is the point where Zerg has decided that they want to try to go for a bust. We'll have to see how effective this is going to be. We do have some overlords here, maybe wanting to fly over and tank some shots. We go ahead and get a look at the Protoss main. And seeing that there's a lot of gateways here, he does not see the Templar tech, I don't think. I think he just barely missed the Templar tech. Now, these Zealots, I don't know if they were right-clicked out or if they were baited out. Regardless, going to go ahead and see that there are a lot of lurkers out here. And, again, this may signal the potential for a Hydra lurker bust. Now, at this point, I mean, there are a lot of storms available. I mean, a lot of storms. Unfortunately, it looks like the goons are trapped by this pylon, so we do need to take this pylon out so that the goons can actually get out and help defend this area. Now we're leapfrogging the lurkers forward a little bit, just trying to find that sweet spot. But now, with the lurkers move forward and Protoss able to see them, Protoss knows, I mean, Protoss can't actually see them, but Protoss knows they're there, and gonna go ahead and send this forward, and oh my goodness, oh no, losing 2 High Templar for free. I was thinking that he was gonna try to get some storms off on where he knew that these lurkers were, but unfortunately he just completely lost 2 High Templar for free. They didn't get a single storm off. That is not the most ideal thing in the world, for sure. Observers are on the way here so that we can start really trying to break this up. And is this shuttle just going to die for free? Yes, it is. I thought maybe this was either an observer or that Corsair that's been flying around. But no, it was the shuttle. The shuttle did nothing. And now walking up, baiting out a storm, and backing right off. And more Hydras now on the way. Queen's Nest on the way to try to get to that hive tech. And now Zerg taking a 4th gas, and why not? Did I hear a Dark Templar? I did hear, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry guys, I completely missed this. Dark Templar made up here did get 7 kills, but still a very healthy drone count. It looks like we were able to get those away. We had everything in position to deal with that. So, oh, accidentally rallying down drones to this natural. And now Protoss again trying to move out, trying to break this contain, getting off really good storms here, but still there are a lot more lurkers than I think even Zerg or Protoss would have expected here. And so you can keep dropping storms if you want to, but there's still several lurkers out here. Zealots walking up, but there's just too much Zerg. I mean, the Zerg has more supply than the Protoss does. That's never anything that you really want to see. Now, can Zerg just walk up and kill? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We have more High Templar coming out here. There is 1 storm available. I mean, maybe Zerg. I mean, we're making even more lurkers. Maybe Zerg could kill in this position. But really, the most important thing is 50 drones, 4 bases. Zerg has all the money it could possibly want right now, and here we go again. Dragoons moving out, trying to get what kills they can. The Observer here trying to spot what it can, trying to pick off this Observer or these Hydralists, not able to quite do that. And now there isn't a lot of Hydra support for these lurkers as they keep getting stormed. So many lurkers that are just like 1 shot or 2 shots away. I think he end up losing that observer? I think he did. Now he's got another observer here. More the Zerglings here coming down. Hydra's on the way. Finally now getting into Ling speed. We never got that. But even so, I mean, these Dragoons have been softened up so much by the Lurkers that they're still able to close and get some damage and even get some kills off here. I never thought in my life I'd see slow Lings getting actually putting in some work, but they did in this situation. More Hydras being rallied down. Protoss trying desperately to break this contain, and it looks like he will. But I mean, it's 15 minutes and Protoss doesn't have a third. And now we've pretty much completely reinforced. And again, look at the supply here. Look at the supply. This is just... yeah. I didn't want to say it was hopeless, but Specialist thinks it's hopeless. Tech 100 takes it with the... Hydra Lurker contain was just too strong. Alright guys, now we can get into of the tiers.